Scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek.
Great. I'm really glad that's what this starts with.
You know, everybody needs a good ass licking ride or die. Super tight.
Someone who stands by you through thick and thin.
Super
through
wet.
asshole or not asshole.
This is really disgusting.
Give it a good fucking lick. And a good fucking just... slather it in gravy. And give me that rice and beans.
Gentlemen, I suggest we start this with some prayers.
Dear God.
Dear God.
Today was just one of those days.
I think God ate ass.
God definitely ate ass. Why else would he give you one?
Well, I mean, we all got shit.
Not Kim Jong-un. Ah, fuck.
Can somebody...
There that goes.
Can somebody objectively call you a sinner? Or is it always... is it always subjective?
There are the people telling the truth, and then everyone else that's lying. I would say it's pretty subjective. You're like looking at me, but not looking at me.
I've never heard of anybody lying.
It's the oldest trick in the book.
Tetron and his good Christian values. That's what I like
Give
to
me
see
your-
on
give me
this
your prayer.
channel.
Praise be.
Give me your prayer.
My prayer? Okay.
Under his eye.
Under his eye.
Can we just bow our heads for a minute? Thank you. Please. Oh, what's her name? Wait, what's her?
You're not.
She has no name.
She doesn't have a
Podcast name.
character. Just acknowledge her as her.
Her.
Oh, so she doesn't have a gender. Mm-hmm. Shall I call you them? You are
They.
legion, for you are many.
Oh, hive mind.
Part of me wanted to. Part of me really wanted to take like our favorite name to call women sometimes. Are you thinking of the one I am?
I don't know, we call women a lot of things.
I guess you're right.
Mossy Banks.
I would say one of my favorites of terminology. He has a very wide spectrum
Wait, what's my name?
of etymological. Frowns McBoohoo.
Wow, we're fucking up.
Frowns has a very wide spectrum of etymology, which is the creation of words and vocabulary. I would say my favorite term that he uses for women is Thotimus Prime.
You know, I can't take 100% credit for that, but I'm going to. So,
Fuck you, fatty.
you are Thotimus Prime.
From this day forward,
The final
Thotimus
boss.
Prime.
All right, let's begin with prayer.
All right, thank you.
Rub-a-dub-dub.
Thanks for the growth.
Yay, God. Heil God.
That was delightful. If we just show some respect right now.
All right.
I'm
Sorry.
dead. Like I'm dead serious, guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start praying right now.
Yeah.
Can you please be quiet? Please,
Thought
please be quiet.
my jokes.
And I thought, my jokes.
Dear God, we're taking this to a new level tonight in how we approach you, capital Y.
What? Oh, and you. Okay, got it.
Oh.
Sorry.
We first of all we humbly approach, meekly approach second, and thirdly we slowly approach. It isn't.
It's all approach.
It is.
There's nothing else.
It is a calculated approach. We calculatedly approached you tonight, asking for just one thing, and that would be just the quite frankly, for death.
For that endless night.
For
I will. I will not go quietly. Oh shit! It's weed, man.
God, you act quickly.
Well,
Please.
well, I mean, I want something else.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're coming to God, I need
This is an approach.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you coming?
I'm approaching.
Are you
I'm
coming
approaching
back at
God.
us with the 8-arm theory?
Nah, I'm approaching God for about tree fitty.
Tree fitty.
Tree fitty. Actually, no, we were talking earlier this night. Can you imagine if you had 8 hands?
Yeah, that's 7 hands for dicks
And one for your own. I wouldn't. I don't know. This is where it really breaks down. Would you be more of the
You're
giver?
like Shiva, the god of dick sucks.
Would you be? Well, no, not dick sucks. Dick tugs. Meat tugs.
I kind of just do a shout out. I'd like to say rest in peace, XXX Temptation.
I don't know who that is.
Is he the one with the rainbows?
No,
No, that's
No, he was-
6ix9ine.
Takashi.
Triple X.
Takeshi
Triple X
Sensei.
was a gentleman. He was a gentleman,
Oh, fuck.
and the reason they're laughing is because they're ignorant.
Is this entire episode for God?
Apparently.
Okay,
This is the triple digit.
This
May
is
you
the
accept him.
episode. This is the
666.
Dear God. This is the Dear God episode.
Have mercy on 6ix9ine too.
He'll be there soon.
I know that's your favorite number.
What's your favorite number? Because, it's better than 68.
To wrap the prayer
is.
up, to wrap the now about 5-minute prayer up.
Yeah, it's been fucking long.
It's been the entire episode so far.
I just ask for forgiveness, because that's what we need, I guess. Anyone else have anything they'd like to? Anybody else they'd like to pray for?
Yeah,
I said Triple X, so I'm pretty much spent.
Vin Diesel?
I don't have anyone else I can. Yeah,
Vin Diesel?
yeah,
Vin Diesel?
Vin Diesel.
Did you
What's wrong with Vin Diesel?
Nothing. He's Triple X
Oh,
franchise.
it's fucking awful.
Sorry, that was bad. That was a bad way to take it.
No, I'd like to pray for. I'd like to pray for Thotimus Prime.
Oh, Thotimus.
Took
Because
the words right out of my mouth.
if she's
Thotimus, can
if
we get an
she's-
amen?
Amen.
because if she's
Amen.
if she's
It's gonna be
hankering
like a little whisper in the background.
if she's hankering down with Death,
Yeah.
Death Junior, Death. What's your name, Doctor Death? Doctor.
You've always called me whatever you
Yeah,
wanted to. It's fine.
I mean, like, the amount of suction he's taken on those bar
Wow.
grips, I can only imagine the amount of suction he's applying other places. So, I hope that she can handle it. I hope that she's ready.
That's what your prayer is going to be?
For Thotimus is sniz.
Oh.
For it is holier than thou. It is patient. It is kind. It does not envy. It does not jealous. I don't know. I watched Walk to Remember one fucking time. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Through your son Jesus Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen.
The prayers of
All men.
the prayers of
All men.
So
Not just
for the
I,
next 40
but all
minutes.
of them.
For the next 40 minutes, we're
Allah.
gonna break down the prayer. We're gonna break down its structure. Doing analysis on Jesus Christ.
Leviticus chapter 69.
Christ.
If you're doing dick sucks, don't do them in Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
Just do them in Sodom. Screw Gomorrah.
Yeah, fuck that shit. So, this is
Why are we even here?
This is episode 100. Frowns. This is a very momentous occasion. We have been doing this podcast for about 2 years.
Jesus Christ, I'm old.
It'll be 2 years come November. And, I think you've been on 15 episodes. This would be your 16th episode.
Yeah. And I do
Which
like
is more than anyone else.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Even more than Disco Fagula.
Hi. Yes, no, he hasn't been on as many, and neither has my boy. The best boy.
Django and Chain.
Django Phillips.
Janky.
Jankies. We got second best boy here though. If I were to say the people who approach the show as seriously as possible, the order would go Django, Tenron Otrin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I began with prayer.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. You're always making me feel bad about myself.
100 is a holy number.
Is it?
It's got 2 holes in it.
You know how many commandments there were?
And 1 stick.
69.
The square root of 100.
What's the square root of 100?
I hate you.
That's 1 hole.
I hate you so much.
And you know
And 1
what?
stick.
You got a 1 for the dick and a 0 for the hole.
Yeah, which is why 100 is funnier, because it's 2 holes sharing 1 stick.
So instead of a double dong dildo,
You guys are my holes.
Frowns, square my hole. To the
You
power
guys-
of 2.
You guys are my holes, and I got the stick. Welcome to episode 100.
ass to ass.
That's our assholes touching.
Those are some hard assholes.
Pay attention to
Oh,
the
I'm sorry.
synchronicities in this episode.
The last 10 years of being gay has probably made you sound like...
Actually, I have a very tight asshole, I will have you know.
I didn't want to.
All of those hardcore Kegel exercises.
I didn't ask.
All of those hard nights of thrusting squats.
Damn it.
My ass.
How do you feel about this, Tenron?
I could give you a diamond if you shoved coal up there.
To be honest with you, I'm afraid of getting interrupted if I'm gonna talk.
Yeah, fuck you and your Bible prayers.
You're right.
But if we look at it objectively, we're all made up of the same stuff. So
Yeah.
it shouldn't be disgusting what we do in our own privacy, because it is just what makes us us. If Rounds wants to talk about the types of things he does with the types of stuff that he has,
Dicks.
then let him talk about it. It doesn't make me uncomfortable.
Water.
It takes a lot to make me uncomfortable.
2 liters. Sulfur. 654 meters. And 100 other traits and things that make up a human body.
This was the stuff we were gonna use to bring Mom back.
And you know what I got? I don't have a body. I ain't got no penis. My body's in another fucking realm, anorexic and breaking.
Are you guys doing a brotherhood thing right now?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Let's bring Mom back.
Yeah, I want to fuck her. I mean,
Wow.
yeah, I want to
Fucker.
fuck her. Yeah.
No, that's pretty accurate.
She did look a lot like Winry.
Actually, you and I could cosplay Edward and Alphonse. You would be Alphonse, and I would be Edward.
Would I be anorexic Alphonse,
No,
or would
you
I
would-
be in the
you would
suit
be a great
Alphonse?
Edward.
Thank you. You'd be
the hair.
great if we can get you the body of armor. You could wear it, and you would
would
be
also make it.
Alphonse.
And Death could be.
I don't even want to think about it. I would just be Naruto running in out of nowhere telling you to believe it. Believe it!
I want to see you do.
Believe it, pussy.
I want to see you do Wilrow Hood.
That's my shinobi way. Who could he be?
No.
It's easy.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, yeah,
funny.
but that's the
Who could he
problem
be?
with it.
Wilrow Hood, a character kind of from Star Wars. I think he was just made up for fun.
I think he was.
And then he was
Wasn't he a
canonized.
Wasn't he a 501st creation?
You know what I'm having?
No.
He wasn't a Fan Legion creation? I was
No,
almost 95% sure.
Maybe it was the 501st. I thought you meant like Battlefront 2 501st.
No, I mean like Legion. Like the...
I don't know if it was somebody in the Legion, but it was like canonized through like an official story. I'm not sure if it was in a book. So in episode 5, there's a gentleman who is wearing an
Please
orange
interrupt me.
jumpsuit.
I really hate Star Wars. Can you shut the fuck up?
Okay, fine.
But you know what I was gonna.
Whatever.
But you know what I was gonna say. You know what I was really gonna say. You talking about
Don't
Star Wars?
share your interest with your friends. Yeah, loud and clear, buddy.
Kill yourself. Listen. Death back in the day in high school.
Fuck.
Yeah, I just want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, he's got a nice little beard and stash growing. But back in the day,
Episode 100.
he only
let's
ever
hear it.
had the peach fuzz. And when you said Star Wars, I thought about him being Chewbacca, which is actually achievable now. But then back in the day, he was just little peach fuzz.
That was a good see-through.
Chewbacca?
Am I right?
Am I right? Yeah.
Oh, Chewbacca.
That's really good.
Yate.
Anyway,
When was Star Wars Mexican?
okay, let's change topic real quick.
Since the word cantina.
Oh, I should just die. Let's go.
So
Why are we here? What is this?
This is episode 100. We've come a long way. Yeah, Frowns, you got something to say?
No, he
I
doesn't.
just think of that Family Guy
doesn't. He's
picture
still- we haven't
with Peter's a table of women with the cigarettes. You've come a long way, honey. And they're just like pretending to laugh.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like you. Why am I even here? I've asked you like
So
5
shit.
times.
Not existentially, but literally, why are we here?
For anal sex.
Welcome to episode 100. This is pretty much going to be the entire fucking thing.
No.
We're going to try and read
We
a
have a
story,
story.
and then this is going to fucking happen every
No.
time we do something. We haven't had an episode like this in a long time where it's just kind of like goofballs trying to read something stupid.
Well, let's break it down. Let's have a plan.
Some of your best episodes, Frowns, have been based off of reading just stupid ass fucking stories. What did you want to break down?
Oh, my plan. So I have a plan.
This is a master plan.
I suggest Captain.
ass plan.
Captain as the narrator,
Ass blast.
as narration, stage directions, if you will,
Sure.
and Frowns and I will alternate characters. And if there are,
I'm good with
I don't
that.
know the story. Well, I think I do.
There's one I could see you doing very well. Here's how I want to do it.
Okay.
It's not our show, man. We're just along
Pretty
for the
much I
ride.
want to do exactly what you said,
but not.
but I want you to play one specific part above all else.
It's cast.
Yeah.
I work.
You've
for
kind
free.
of got the face for it, I'm not going to lie.
I don't accept
A little
anything
bit.
without a name roll. If you try to put me in ensemble, I'm gonna fucking leave.
When's the shoot date, bud? I'll see if I'm free.
I fucking hate you. Oh my god!
This is what we're doing today.
Nice.
Oh yes, yeah. I haven't read this in a long time. Long time.
Wait, so everything you were just saying wasn't...
What do you mean?
Were you thinking about this when you were saying all the stuff just now?
Not when I was saying this, but earlier when you had mentioned I had read this before.
Yeah.
This is what came to mind.
This is what came to mind?
Yes.
Do you know this
But
story?
I'm glad,
It's been a
because
long
it could be
time.
very unnerving. People very often talk about this one.
R.
God damn it.
R is a bedroom.
So, this... Oh, fuck. We're reading Ben Drowned. And, I don't know if... We have a follower. We have, like, a fan. I've tried... he's never said anything on any of the episodes. Like, never commented or anything, but his username is Ben Drowned, so I have a feeling he's going to enjoy this story. And that's not a joke. I could actually show you.
We actually have a follower?
You know that the dude from,
How many followers do we have?
I think, 50-something on here,
Jesus Christ.
60-something on iTunes, another 30 on Google Play, and, like, 15 to 30 on Mixcloud.
You hear that, Thoughtimus Prime? We're gonna be famous! Your thought's gonna be all over the place!
Your episode that came out like 5 days ago has 5 views.
And none of them are mine!
Synchronicity. 5 and 5.
Someone must like
Oh
me!
my god, what is happening?
Episode of the Z had 10. Dude, Tenron, your last couple episodes haven't been too great. I don't know if you remember. He's having like PTSD flashbacks right
You
now.
better start getting on your knees and praying, boy.
This isn't happening.
Pray to the almighty Lord.
This isn't real. This isn't real.
I want to know what he's doing right now.
Put his cock in your mouth.
It's a pretty good sound.
Do you think God's got a big cock?
Help me.
Do you think it's
God,
like,
help me.
Do you think
I
it's
don't
like
know where
really
he's
thick,
going.
or do you think it's like a chode?
I would say it's all girth.
Just a big fat,
Are we
just
talking,
like
are we talking about who?
God.
Oh.
So, I forgot what I was trying to show you.
I don't know. This
Ben
guy,
Drown's username.
Yeah, dude.
just a big dick.
There he is.
Nice.
He fucking likes all of our episodes and listens like every week. Shout out to Ben John.
Good for you, Ben John.
We're reading the story behind your fucking username. I hope you fucking like it, you piece of shit.
Listened to a lot more than I have, so
DM me.
good on you.
One of my favorite jokes that you tell in episode 88 is like, hey man, you're moving away. Maybe then you'll listen to the episodes and you're like, you know what? Maybe not. It's probably one of my favorite
I knew myself
shows.
too well.
There's also a bunch of like funny moments in the zombie episode with you.
I didn't listen to it yet.
That story is so just vapid
Oh, I remember it being
and uninteresting that we just kind of
Confusing.
shit on it the entire time. It's really funny.
Well, initially, I tried to take it seriously.
No, because we wanted it to be like World War Z. We wanted it to be this like scrawling epic about zombies and being in fucking Africa and all this, and it's fucking nothing like that, man. It's like a guy who complains the entire time. It's not great. Shout out to episode 87, 80, 86? I don't fucking know.
Let's rip into this bitch.
You want to just jump right in like that?
Ooh, can you at least lube me up first, boys?
Bend down.
More like bend over. Bend over.
I fucking hate you.
Tongue punch my fart box.
Dear God, do I hate you.
Cool.
And by the way, this is just a dude who stumbles on. I don't know if you know anything about this story.
Kind of.
It's a video game. A guy stumbles across a ROM, a hacked ROM of Majora's Mask, and it fucks him up. And apparently, it's one of the most fucking popular creepypastas. I don't know. You said you've read it.
A long time ago.
Oh man, which one of you guys is starting?
I'll start. Alright, so this is Ben Drown.
Taking us back in time.
Gonna do this one a little bit different than I usually do. I'm gonna be a little more serious on this one.
Hey, episode 80 was really great.
Can't even remember it.
Pen pal. You were serious.
Which one was that?
The one with the friends and the stalker.
But even then I had a little bit of like a thing going. Just gonna try to be very monochronomicon. Romcon.
I gotta crack my vertebrae.
Yeah, let him crack his vertebrae first.
I want you to crack my anus.
You have to crack the verts real quick.
Post
Oh, I shit myself.
post number 1. September 7th.
2010.
2010. I graduated high school in 2010.
I didn't.
Interesting fact. You know what I did on the New Year's into this decade? I was in my basement.
Lost your virginity?
I was watching ESPN. Travis Pastrana did the longest jump on like some like bike or
I think
something.
I remember that.
To break in 2010.
Fuck, I do remember
I
that.
remember watching it. He did it at the crack of midnight. I was alone, and I was 15 or 16. I was 16.
You know what I did? I killed myself.
I was 15. I lied.
I'm Ben.
I was 15.
Oh.
My birthday's October. I lied. I was 15.
You were Swifting?
I was.
Start the fucking story.
Alright.
right.
Alright.
Alright.
Post number 1, September 7th, 2010. Scene.
Marker.
Take and
Cut. God damn it, I'm going to my trailer.
and that's a wrap, people.
Okay.
Alright, but seriously. Okay. Am I supposed to read that? -X dash. Dash
It's
X.
Reddit.
Okay. -X dash. I need your help with this. This is not copy pasta. This is a long read, but I feel like my safety or well-being could be very well dependent upon this. This is video game related, specifically Majora's Mask, and this is the creepiest shit that has ever happened to me in my entire life.
So, gotta stop immediately to ask what your thoughts on Majora's Mask as a game were.
I like it. I like that it's basically the 5 stages of grief.
Kinda, yeah.
It's a very, very deep game. You can read into it a lot and look into things, and
So you think it has a surreal kind of quality?
Yeah, I
already.
think Ocarina of Time is a funner playthrough.
Of course.
Because I hate being so time-based.
It's a hard...
It's a very stressful...
It's a hard mechanic to get used to.
But it kind of plays into...
It almost contemplates the same kind of, like, moral quandary, or I should say mortal quandary of, like, life. A looming doom, an eventual demise, but, like, the clock is shortened.
It's really...
It's an odd fucking game. The more you think about it, the more it just seems like the bastard stepchild of all of Nintendo's Legend of Zelda games.
It's nothing like the other Zelda games.
No, not at all.
It uses the same engine as Ocarina of Time, but to compare them at all is just... It's like comparing...
You do
it's like
disservice
comparing
to
anime to comic books. It's like comparing fantasy to anime. You know, it's like... Ocarina of Time is so fairy tale, so you buy the books. Majora's Mask is a fucking mess. It's like fucking Donnie Darko. It's like a goddamn time traveler, dude. Keep trying to avoid your death. It's a nuts fucking game.
Yeah.
It's Final Destination.
It is like Final Destination, but it's
You know
also
what,
like life.
You know what your final destination is?
On your deck.
Death.
My
Oh,
asshole.
Shit, man.
On your
And
dick
we're back.
asshole.
Please stop.
Having said that, I recently moved into my dorm room, starting as a sophomore in college, and a friend of mine gave me his old Nintendo 64 to play.
I was stoked.
I was stoked, bruh!
I was stoked on it.
I was stoked out of my fucking mind. Oh, I meant to say coked. I was coked out of my fucking mind. I lost like 3 teeth my first year, bruh.
I thought you were gonna say stoned.
Yo, man, I was so stoned. I couldn't even fucking find the TV to play the game, bruh. Little did I know, I was in the bathroom the whole fucking time,
You
bruh.
watch your goddamn mouth, alright?
Whoa, man, you want me to wash my mouth, bruh?
You're a really disrespectful piece of shit, you know that?
What, man? I hate myself too, bruh.
Hate yourself on your own time, alright? We got a fucking paragraph to read.
I'm gonna hate... Did you just
I like
assume...
that he's kind of taking my job and
Did you
making
just
you feel like
Did
shit.
you just assume my paragraph's gender?
I referred to it as a paragraph.
I am so fucking triggered right now.
Sorry.
I was stoned.
Oh shit, I didn't know if it was the female or the male demonstrative I need to use.
Stoned.
So much for doing this serious.
I'm serious. Black.
I am seriously black. Is that what you just said?
No, serious.
I was stoked.
I was stoked, to say the least. I could finally play all of those old games in my youth that I hadn't touched in at least a decade. His Nintendo 64 came with one yellow controller and a rather shoddy copy of Super Smash Bros. And while beggars can't be choosers, needless to say, it didn't take long until I became bored of beating up level 9 CPUs.
Which means he's a fucking badass.
Yeah.
He'd be a streamer today.
Yeah,
He'd
fuck.
stream Fortnite.
I hate you.
Hey guys, welcome to my stream. I'm streaming, you guessed it, Fortnite. Get ready for some fun action. We're gonna win solo.
Alright, boys, where are we dropping?
Did you own an N64? Because I have a feeling
I have one.
You didn't.
I have one.
When they were coming out.
Oh yeah,
You did.
my parents played Ocarina and I watched them as a 2-year-old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's weird.
My mom.
My parents were early 20s, so my mom and dad.
You owned an N64.
This is personal information, but they were early 20s when I was like a toddler.
Yeah.
My mom was a 40-year-old playing Super Metroid for me while I was a kid because I couldn't play it.
Captain, what did your mother do?
Soul travel.
She beat me. Done wrong. She beat me.
She crushed you.
She crushed me.
Crushed your spirits.
She gave me a chug-a-lug.
Chicken chug-a-lug with the boys. Babies with the boys.
Babies with the boy.
Well, I was just down at the old pub having a little cheeky chug-a-lug with the
Having a
men.
bit of a
With
chug-a-lug.
my lovers, my men.
I'd love to see your mom do that.
That was
weekend, I
reference.
decided.
That was a reference to Auntie Donna. Not this is all
Sorry.
shout out to them.
He's talking.
We had a plug-in.
He
right
thinks he's people. He thinks he's people.
So cute.
there. Did you just assume
You're people.
My people.
the identity of this being? There's a person. That's what I just did.
I thought you were Tetron Otrin.
Identify yourself. I am human.
Please.
What are you?
Nanu Nanu.
Not
No. Read the fucking story.
I'm the genie.
I'm the genie.
That sounded exactly like Robin Williams. He sounded like Tim Curry.
I mean, honestly, right away the two, Robin Williams, Triple X. I'm a little sadder for the latter.
Tetron Otrin. Takashi Sensei.
Oh my God.
I mean, where are we right
That
now?
weekend, I decided to drive around a few neighborhoods.
This is
about
my story.
20 minutes or so off campus, hitting up the local garage sales, hoping to score on
Some smack.
some good deals from ignorant parents. I ended up picking up a copy of Pokemon Stadium, GoldenEye, fuck yeah, F-Zero, and 2 other controllers for $2. Satisfied, I began to drive out of the neighborhood when one last house caught my attention. I still have no idea why it did. There were no cars there, and only one table was set up with random junk on it. But something sort of drew me there. I usually trust my gut on these things, so I got out of the car and I was greeted by an old man. His outward appearance was, for lack of a better word, displeasing. It was odd. If you asked me to tell you why I thought he was displeasing, I couldn't really pinpoint anything. There was just something about him that put me on edge. I can't explain it. All I can tell you is that if it wasn't in the middle of the afternoon and there were other people within shouting distance, I would not have even thought of approaching this man. He flashed a crooked smile and asked what I was looking for, and immediately I noticed that he must be blind in one of his eyes. His right eye had that glazed over look about it. I forced myself to look to his left eye instead, trying not to offend, and asked him if he had any old video games.
You said video games?
Video games.
Huh.
I was already wondering how I could politely excuse myself from the situation when he would tell me he had no idea what a video game was, but to my surprise he said he had a few in an old box. He assured me he'd be back in a jiffy and turned to head back into the garage. As I watched him hobble away, I couldn't help but notice what he was selling on his table. Littered across his table were rather peculiar paintings, various artworks that looked like ink blots that a psychiatrist might show you. Talk fucking quieter, I'm gonna punch you. Get off speakerphone, you tit. Close the fucking door if you're gonna have a conversation.
Hi, folks. We're back. We're back at the podcast. We just we had an emergency. We had to drive Frowns to the hospital. He's all right. We left him there. Am I right, Thautomus? We left Frowns there.
As I watched him hobble away, I couldn't help but notice what he was selling on
Frowns
his
is back
table.
from the hospital.
Littered across his table were rather peculiar paintings, various artworks that looked like ink blots that a psychiatrist might show you.
But we're actually anuses.
Curious, I looked through them. It was obvious why no one was visiting this guy's
they're
garage
anuses.
sale. These weren't exactly aesthetically pleasing. As I came to the
Aesthetically? Is that what you just said?
aesthetically.
Did you
As I
assume
came to
these
the last one,
genders?
for some reason it looked almost like a Majora's mask. The same heart-shaped body with little spikes protruding outward. Initially I just thought that since I was secretly hoping to find that game at these garage sales, some Freudian bullshit was projecting itself into the ink blots, but given the events that happened afterwards, I'm not so sure now. I should have asked the man about it. I wish I would have asked the man about it.
After staring at the Majora-shaped blot, I looked up and the old man was suddenly there again, arm's length in front of me, smiling at me. I'll admit I jumped out of reflex and laughed nervously as he handed me a Nintendo 64 cartridge. It was the standard gray color, except that someone had written Majora on it in black permanent marker. I got butterflies in my stomach as I realized what a coincidence this was, and I asked him how much he wanted for it. The old man smiled and told me that I could have it for free.
Tree fitty.
Goddamn Loch Ness monster trying to give me Majora Mask!
The old man smiled at me and told me that I could have it at no cost, that it used to belong to a kid who was about my age.
What if he
That didn't live here anymore.
What if he made you paint on your asshole and smeared on a painting,
And you just like
and
kinda
you would
sit on
join his collection
Huh.
of
I feel like
painted sphincters?
that would almost take on like the Native American approach where I feel like I'm giving my soul away.
I see a sphincter and I want to paint it black.
Please
Wow,
continue the
that
story.
reminds me of my time in Europe. I spent abroad.
That
I learned
reminds me
some
of the
really
time
interesting.
Where we read
There was
the
something
fucking story.
With
Yeah,
the Winchester boys.
I was.
No, that's the Winchester boys.
The
I remember
Winchester
that.
boys.
I remember that.
You,
story.
sir, point your criticisms at frowns to your right.
You're a scoundrel!
I have remained on task,
And defeat.
punctual.
I'm going to go home now!
I am focused.
There was something weird about how the man phrased that. But I didn't really pay any attention to it then. I was too caught up in not only finding this game, but getting it for free. I reminded myself to be a bit skeptical since this looked like a pretty shady cartridge, and there's no guarantee it would work. But then the optimist inside me interjected. Maybe it was some kind of beta version or a pirated version of the game, and that was all I needed to be back on Cloud 9.
You're a streamer, aren't you?
I thanked the man, and the man smiled at me and wished me well, saying, "Goodbye, then." At least that's what it sounded like to me. All the way in the car ride home, I had a nagging doubt that the man had said something else.
Goodbye, Ben.
My fears were confirmed when I booted up the game. To my surprise, it worked just fine. And then there was one save file named simply Ben. "Goodbye, Ben," he was saying. "Goodbye, Ben." I felt bad for the man, obviously a grandparent and obviously going senile, and I, for some reason or another, reminded him of his grandson, Ben.
Out of curiosity, I looked at the save file, eyeballing it. I could tell that he was pretty far in the game. He had almost all of the masks and 3/4 remaining of the bosses.
I always liked that about the title screen. It kind of showed you your progress without showing you your progress.
Yeah. I noticed that he had used an owl statue to save his game. He was on day 3, and by the Stone Tower Temple, with hardly an hour left before the moon would crash. I remember thinking that it was a shame that he had come so close to beating the game, but he had never finished it. I made a new file named Link,
Lonk.
out of tradition, and started the game, ready to relive my childhood.
I recently played through Wind Waker, and I named my guy,
Octorock?
Dude. So it sounds like everyone is saying, Dude, found some clothes for you, bro.
Dude, wave to your grandmother, bruh.
Great.
Dude, go save your sister.
Dude, go fuck that pirate bitch.
Yeah, dude.
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 Okay.
Oh!
Thank you. Bye. For such a shady looking game cartridge,
I love Beetle.
I was impressed at how smoothly it ran. Literally, just like a retail copy of the game, save for a few minor hiccups here and there, like textures being where they shouldn't be, random flashes of cutscenes at odd intervals, but nothing too bad. However, the only thing that I was a little unnerved about was that the times that NPCs would call me Link, and at other times they would call me Ben. I figured it was just a bug, a fluke in the programming, causing our files to get mixed up or something. It did kind of creep me out though after a while, and it was around after I had beaten the Woodfall Temple that I regrettably went to the save files and deleted Ben.
and don't like them.
I had intended to preserve the file just out of respect for the game's original owner. It's not like I needed 2 files anyway, hoping that it would solve the problem. It did. And it didn't. Now NPCs wouldn't call me anything. Where my name should be in the dialogue, there was just a blank space. My save file name was still called Link though. Frustrated and with homework to do, I put the game down for a day. I started playing the game again last night, getting the lens of truth and working my way towards completing the Snowhead Temple. Now some of you more hardcore Majora's Mask players know about the 4th day glitch. For those of you who don't, you can Google it. But the gist of it is that right as the clock is about to hit 000 on the final day, you talk to the astronomer and look through the telescope. If you have time it right till the countdown disappears and you essentially have another day to finish whatever you were doing. Deciding to do the glitch and to try and finish the Snowhead Temple. I happened to get it right on my first try and the time counter at the bottom disappeared. However, when I pressed B to exit the telescope, instead of being greeted by an astronomer, I found myself in the Majora's boss fight room at the end of the game, the trippy boxed-in arena, staring at a Skull Kid hovering above me. There was no sound, just him floating in the air above me, and the background music, which was regular for the area, but still creepy. Immediately my palms began to sweat. This was definitely not normal. Skull Kid never appeared here. I tried moving around the area, and no matter where I went, Skull Kid would always be facing me, looking at me, not saying anything. Nothing would happen though, and this kept up for about 60 seconds. I thought the game had bugged or something, but I was beginning to doubt that very much. I was about to reach for the reset button when text appeared on my screen. You're not sure why, but you apparently had a reservation. I instantly recognized that text. You get that message when you get the room key from Anju the Stone Pot Inn. But why was it playing here? I refused to entertain the notion that it was almost as if the game was trying to communicate with me. I started to navigate the room again, testing to see if it was some sort of trigger that enabled me to interact with something here. Then I realized how stupid I was. To even think that someone could reprogram the game like this was absurd. Sure enough, 15 seconds later, another message appeared on the screen. And again, like the first one, it was already a pre-existing phrase. Go to the lair of the temple's boss. Yes? No. I paused for a second, contemplating what I should press and how the game would react when I realized that I couldn't select no. Taking a deep breath, I pressed yes, and the screen faded to white with the words Dawn of a New Day with the subtext illegible beneath it. Where I was ported to filled me with the most intense sense of dread and impending fear I had ever experienced.
The only way I can describe the way I felt here is having this feeling of inexplicable depression on a profound scale. So it's just another morning. I'm normally not a depressed person, but the way I felt here was a feeling that I didn't even knew existed. It was such a twisted, powerful presence that seemed to wash over me. I appeared in some kind of weird Twilight Zone version of Clocktown. I walked out of the clock tower as you normally do when you start from day one, only to find that all the inhabitants were gone. Usually with the 4th day glitch, you can still find the guards and the dog that runs around outside the tower. This time they're all gone. What replaced them was the ominous feeling that there was something out there in the same area as me, and that it was watching me. I had 4 hearts to my name and the hero's bow, but at this point I wasn't even considered for my avatar. I felt that I personally was in some kind of danger. Perhaps the most chilling thing was the music. It was the Song of Healing, ripped straight from the game itself, but played in reverse. The music would get louder, building up so as if you should expect something to pop out at you. But nothing ever did, and the constant loop began to wear on my mental state. Even now and then I would hear the faint laugh of the happy mask salesman in the background, just quiet enough so that I wasn't sure if I was just hearing things, but just loud enough to keep me determined to find him. I looked in all 4 zones of Clocktown only to find nothing, no one. Textures were missing, West Clocktown had me walking on air, the entire area felt broken. Hopelessly broken. As the reverse song of healing repeated for what must have been the 50th time, I just remember standing in front of the South Clocktown realizing that I had never felt so alone in a video game before. As I walked through the ghost town, I didn't know whether it was the combination of the out-of-place textures and the atmosphere and the haunting melody of the once peaceful and soothing song being butchered and distorted, but I was literally on the verge of tears and I had no idea why. I hardly ever cry. Something had gripped me here, and this powerful sense of depression that was both foreign and crippling. I tried leaving Clocktown, but every time I attempted to zone out, the screen would fade to black and I would just zone into another part of Clocktown. I tried playing my ocarina, I wanted to escape, and I did not want to be here, but every time I played the Song of Time or the Song of Soaring, it would only say, "Your notes echo far, but nothing happens." By this point, it was obvious the game didn't want me to leave, but I had no idea why it was keeping me here. I didn't want to go inside the buildings. I felt like I would be too vulnerable there, that whatever I was terrified of. I don't know why, but I came up with the idea that maybe if I drowned myself at the laundry pool, I could spawn somewhere else and leave this place. As I zoned in and ran towards the pool, that's when it happened. Link grabbed his head, and the screen flashed for a brief moment of the Happy Mask salesman smiling at me. Not Link. Me, with the Skull Kid's scream playing in the background, and when the screen returned, I was staring at the Link statue from playing the song Elegy of Emptiness. I screamed as the thing just stared back at me with that haunting facial expression. I turned around and ran out and back into South Clocktown, and to my horror, the fucking statue followed me in the only way I can compare to the weeping angels from Doctor Who. Every so often, at random intervals, the animation would play of the statue appearing behind me. It was like the thing was fucking chasing me. Or I don't even want to fucking say it. Haunting me.
By this point, I was on the verge of hysterics, but not even once did the thought of turning off the console occur to me. I don't know why. I was so wrapped up in it. The terror felt all so real. I tried to shake the statue, but it would literally appear right behind me every single time. Link started to begin to make weird animations. I had never even seen him do that before. He would flail his arms around and around, or spasm randomly, and the screen would cut to the Happy Mask salesman smiling again for a brief moment before I was face to face with that fucking statue again. I ended up running into the Swordmaster's dojo and ran to the back. I don't know why, but in my panic, I just wanted some kind of assurance that I'm not alone. To my dismay, I found no one. But as I turned to leave, the statue cornered me in the cubby in the back.
That's fucking terrifying.
I tried attacking the statue with my sword, but to no avail. Confused and backed into a corner, I just stared at the statue, waiting for it to kill me. Suddenly, the screen flashed again to the Happy Mask salesman, and Link turned to face my screen. Standing upright, mirroring the statue, looking at me along with his copy. Literally staring at me. Whatever was left of the fourth wall was completely shattered while I ran out of the dojo terrified. Suddenly, the game warped me to an underground tunnel, and the reverse song of healing queued up again as I was given a brief moment of rest before the statue started appearing behind me again. This time, aggressively. I could only take a few steps before it would summon behind me again. I hurriedly made my way out of the tunnel and appeared in Southern Clocktown. As I ran aimlessly, in a sheer panic, suddenly a redead screamed and the screen faded to black as Dawn of a New Day and ineligible text, in quotes, on the page. right now, appeared again. The screen faded in and I was standing on top of Clock Tower, with Skull Kid hovering over me again, silent. I looked up and the moon was back, looming just meters above my head. But the Skull Kid just stared at me hauntingly with that fucking mask. A new song was playing, the Stone Tower Temple theme played in reverse. In some sort of desperate attempt, I equipped my bow and fired off a shot at the Skull Kid. And it actually hit him. And he played an animation of him reeling back. I fired again, and on the third arrow, a text box appeared saying, "Well, that won't do any good." I was picked up off the ground, levitated upwards on my back, and then Link screamed as he burst into flames, instantly killing him. I jumped when this happened. I had never seen this move used by anyone in this game, and Skull Kid himself didn't have any moves. As the death screen played, my lifeless body still burning, the Skull Kid laughed and the screen faded to black, only to have me reappear in the same place. I decided to charge him, but the same thing happened. Link's body was lifted off the ground by some unknown force, and he immediately burst into flames again, killing him. This time during the death screen, the faint sounds of the reverse song of healing could be heard. On my third and final try, I noticed that there was no music playing this time, that all there was eerie silence. Just like that.
It wasn't so eerie.
I remembered that in the original encounter with the Skull Kid, you were supposed to use the ocarina to either travel back in time or summon the giants. I attempted to play the Song of Time, but before I could hit the last note, Link's body once again horrifically exploded into flames, and he died.
Did Michael Bay have like a hand in this remix?
Explosion.
As the death screen neared its end, it began to chug.
Have a chug-a-lug.
It began to chug along with the boys.
Chug-a-lug with the
With my boys.
With the boys.
Barodin. Oh god, anyway. It began to chug as if the cartridge was trying to process a lot of something. When the screen came to, it was the same scene as the first 3 times, except this time Link was lying on the ground, dead, in a position I had never seen him in the game before. His head tilted towards the camera, with the Skull Kid floating above him. I couldn't move. I couldn't press any buttons. All I could do is just stare at Link's dead body. After around 30 seconds of this, the game simply fades out with the message, "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" before kicking you out to the title screen.
Upon getting back to the title screen and starting again, I noticed my save file was no longer there. Instead of Link, it was replaced with "Your turn." Your turn had 3 hearts, 0 masks, and no items. I selected Your Turn, and immediately when I did, I was returned to the Clock Tower rooftop scene of my Link dead and the Skull Kid hovering over, with the Skull Kid's laughing loop again and again. I quickly hit the reset button, and when the game booted up again, there was one more save file added below. Your Turn, entitled Ben's save file, was right back where it was before I deleted it, at the Stone Tower Temple with the moon almost crashing. I turned the game off at that point. I'm not superstitious, but this is way too fucked up even for me. I haven't played it all today. Hell, I didn't even get any sleep last night. I kept hearing the reverse song of healing music in my head and just remembering the sense of dread I felt exploring Clock Tower. I drove back to the old man's house today to ask him some questions with a buddy of mine. No way I was going alone, only to find that there was a for sale sign in the front yard, and when I rang the door, nobody was home. So now I'm back here writing down the rest of my thoughts and recording what happened. Sorry if some of this has grammatical errors and whatnot. I'm running on no sleep here, but I'm terrified of all this. I'm terrified of this game, even more so now that I've relived it a second time writing all this down, but I feel like there's still more to it than meets the eye, and that there's something calling to me to investigate this further. I think Ben is something in this equation, but I don't know what. And if I could get a hold of the old man, then I would be able to find out some answers. I need another day or so to recuperate before tackling this game again. It's already taken a toll on my sanity, and I feel like... But next time I do this, I'm going to be recording all of my footage, all the way through. The idea to record only came to me towards the end, so you see the last few minutes of what I saw, including Skull Kid and the elegy statue. But it's on YouTube here.
Okay, I might have deleted the links, but the I think the most compelling part of this story to the people listening is like the guy who wrote this, the person who wrote this also made the ROM hack of the game, so he kind of videotapes in-game footage of all of this shit happening.
Now that I've not seen.
That's really cool.
Yes, there have been many interpretations of this story in footage form, and it really lended to the form. It really did. Every time he would post, he just put out a new video of like maybe a minute or two of him dealing with what he just described.
Yeah.
You know, like the statue just fucking following him.
We should.
Is it over?
Absolutely not.
Alright. I'm going to stay in this thread for a little while longer before I fall asleep to answer any questions you guys might have, or hopefully listen to your ideas or theories to help me shed some light onto this, or maybe things I should try to do. I think I'm going to play Ben's file tomorrow and see what happens. Maybe I was supposed to do that all along. I don't believe in paranormal shit, but this is a little fucked up. But maybe this Ben guy is just really a good hacker programmer. I don't want to think about the alternatives if he isn't. That's the end of this copy-paste. I'm hoping that maybe this is some kind of running gag that the developers had, and that other people have gotten gag or hacked copies of a game like this. This just really scares me.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. I like it. Is this ringing a bell to you?
Yeah.
Have you seen the videos I'm talking about?
I think me and my other friend watched blips and blurbs of it, but I don't remember it all the way through.
You've never seen any of the videos.
I've never seen the videos.
That's interesting that you would know the story, but you wouldn't know the videos. This is the most compelling part.
Yeah, I've never seen the videos.
Post 2, September 8th, 2010. One day later.
Just one?
One day more.
Another Ben, another Majora's Mask. Will someone just come and lick my ass?
Stick it in my ass. Oh, I'm not gonna post what happened in like the video footage, but last night everything got too real for me. I think I'm done messing around with this. I passed out pretty much immediately after making this thread, but last night that Elegy of Emptiness statue, I had a dream about it. I dreamt that it was following me in my dream, that I would be minding my own business when I'd feel my neck hairs stand up on end. I would turn around, and that thing, that horrible, lifeless statue would be staring with those empty eyes right at me, merely inches away. In my dream, I remember calling it Ben, and never before had I had a dream that I could remember so vividly, but the most important thing is I did get some sleep, I suppose. Today, putting off playing the game as long as I could, I drove back up to that neighborhood to see if the old man came back, and as I expected, the car was still gone and no one was home. As I was walking back to my car, the man next door mowing the grass killed the power on his lawnmower and asked me if I was looking for someone. I told him that I was looking to talk to the old man that lived there, to which he told me what I already knew. He was moving, trying a different avenue. I asked if the old man had any family or relatives I could talk to, and I discovered that this old man had never been married, nor did he have any children or grandchildren through adoption. Starting to become worried, I asked one final question, one that I should have asked from the beginning. Who was Ben? The man's expression turned grim, and I learned that 4 doors down, around 8 years ago on April 23rd, the man informed me that it was the same day as his anniversary. That's how he knew the specific date. There was an accident with a young boy named Ben in the neighborhood. Shortly after his parents moved, and despite any further attempts to talk to the man to get more information, he wouldn't divulge anything else. I went back and started playing again. I loaded up the game and immediately I jumped at the title screen where the mask flies by. The sound that played was not the normal whoosh sound, it was something much more higher pitched. I pressed start, bracing for the worst, but just like 2 nights ago, the files Your Turn and Ben were displayed. Truth be told, I looked at the Ben file earlier. It seems to fluctuate between displaying the owl save and not. I brought up the Ben file, hesitated for a moment, noticing that the stats were not the same and the original were 2 days ago. It seemed like he had already completed the Stone Tower Temple this time. Summoning my courage, I selected it. Immediately, I was thrust into complete chaos. Sure enough, I was outside Stone Tower Temple, but that's about all that was expected. The zone itself wasn't called Stone Tower Temple, but rather Stone. And immediately, a dialogue box of complete gibberish that I couldn't make out greeted me. Link's body was distorted, his back was cocked violently to the side where his posture was permanently disfigured. Link's expression was dull, almost monotonous. He had an expression on his face that I didn't recognize before. It was a blank look, as if he was dead. As Link stood there, his body spasmed irregularly back and forth. I examined what had become of my avatar and noticed I had a C button item that I had never seen before, some kind of note. But pressing it did nothing. Sounds played back and forth that I didn't recognize from the game, almost demonic in nature, and there was some kind of high-pitched yip, or some kind of laugh, or something playing in the background. I had all of the 2 minutes to take in the environment before another one of those fucking Elegy of Emptiness statues was summoned, and immediately after I was cut into the Dawn of a New Day screen, except this time it was without the ineligible. I was a Deku scrub in Clocktown. This scene would normally play after the first time you traveled back in time. Tattle would say, "Well, what just happened? It's as if everything has." But instead of saying, "Started over," she finished her remark in a broken text as the laugh of the happy mask salesman played in the background. I was put back in control of my character, but from a fucked up camera angle, I was looking from behind the door to the clock tower, watching my avatar run around as a Deku scrub. Seeing as how I really had no place to go because I couldn't see anything, I begrudgingly went inside the door. There I was greeted by the happy mask salesman, who simply told me, "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" Before the screen whited out.
I was in Termina Field as a human again. I might as well not have been playing the same game anymore. I was being warped around and there was no sign of a day clock or anything. I took a moment to get my bearings as I looked around the field, and immediately I could tell that this was not normal. There were no enemies, and a twisted version of the Happy Mask Salesman's theme was playing. I decided to run towards Woodfall before I noticed a gathering of 3 figures off to the side, one of them being Epona.
Epona?
Epona.
I always called it Epona.
What have you called it?
Epona.
You call it Epona?
Yeah, like empanada.
Oh, I always called it Epona.
That's right.
It could be, you know what, tomato, sphincter, anus.
Language is subjective.
Yo, did you just try to genderfy my subjective?
As I approached them, yeah, let's get some jokes going, guys. We need to start laughing again. Let's be vulgar.
Your fucking vape pen got me. My coffin all acting up.
We gotta be vulgar right now, guys.
Please read the story.
God, I'm pathetic.
As I approached them, now remember, recall, 3 figures, much like on this couch right now.
Yo, did you just assume the number of my figures on this couch?
Dude, I have headache.
Hey, Vsauce.
Table.
There are 3 men sitting on a couch, or are they?
Go take the headache, man.
Did you just assume my gender?
That's your joke.
We're not
that you
even
got
halfway through the fucking story, dude. It's okay, I'm not gonna cut it anyway.
Yo.
Cutting's never an option.
Hey,
That's fantastic. Now I can't. Now I can't cut it.
cutting's not a disease. It's a choice.
Get your fucking...
Can you shut up and go get your goddamn
I don't see him.
help pills? As I approached them, To my horror, I saw the Happy Mask Salesman, the Skull Kid, and the Elegy of Emptiness. Okay, so I saw the Happy Mask Salesman, the Skull Kid, and the Elegy of Emptiness.
Emptiness.
Help me.
Elegy of...
Help me, Cap. Help me, Captain. Captain Knuckles. Oh, Cap.
So the third Elegy of Emptiness statue, just standing there. I figured maybe they were bugged out, but by now I told myself that I should know better. Nevertheless, I approached them carefully and found that the Skull Kid was playing some kind of idle animation on loop, saying with Iapuna, and the Elegy of Emptiness statue was doing what it had been doing all along, just standing there eerily. It was the Happy Mask Salesman that scared me more profoundly than the other two.
Well, what I was going to say was, when you really think about it, he's probably the scariest part of Majora's Mask.
The Happy Mask
The
Salesman?
Happy
Oh
Mask
yeah, it's
Salesman.
fucking creepy as shit.
He's great.
He's frightening.
Yeah.
He too was idle, wearing that shit-eating grin. But wherever I moved, his head slowly turned and followed me. I had not engaged in any dialogue with him, nor was I in combat with him. His head still continued to follow my movements. Reminded of my first encounter with the Skull Kid on top of Clock Tower, I pulled out my ocarina, to which the game played this ding sound when you're supposed to play your ocarina. And I tried a song I hadn't played yet, the Happy Mask Salesman's own song and the song that had been playing on loop back in day 4, the Song of Healing. I finished playing the song, and as I did, an ear-piercing shriek blasted on my TV. The sky immediately started flashing. The Happy Mask Salesman's twisted theme song sped up, intensifying the fear inside of me. And Link exploded into flames and died. The three figures stayed lit up during my death screen as they watched my lifeless body burn. I can't describe to you how sudden and terrifying the transition from eerie to terror it is. You're going to have to watch the video if you want to see it firsthand. That same fear that caused me to lose sleep 2 days ago started to grip me again as I was met with the text, "You've met with a horrible fate, haven't you?" for the third time. There has to be some kind of meaning behind that. Okay.
Not picking up on the obvious.
Well, there's no meaning to anything, so... Joke's on you, kid. LOL. LOL, fuck me, I hate my life.
JK, lol.
We all die. I had little time to ponder, as I was immediately given another small cutscene of transforming into a Zora, and now I found myself in Great Temple Bay. Hesitant, but curious to see what the game had in store for me, I slowly made my way towards the beach, where I found Epona. I wondered why the game had decided to put her here. Was the game implying she was trying to get a drink? Unable to take the mask off, I decided that riding the steed wasn't the reason she was placed there. Suddenly, I realized that Epona kept neighing as she went, and the way she was angled made it look like she was trying to signal a point to me off the distance. It was a hunch, but I dove into Great Bay and started swimming. Sure enough, I almost missed it. I found something at the bottom of the ocean. One last Elegy of Emptiness statue. I went down to examine it, and suddenly my Zora started doing a choking animation that I had never seen a Zora do before, which didn't even make sense because Zoras can breathe underwater. Duh. Oh, goodness. Regardless, my character choked to death and died, and again the statue is the only thing that was highlighted in my death. I didn't respawn this time. I was booted back to the main menu as if I restarted the console.
The press start screen was before me. I knew the only reason why it would take me here is because the save files had changed again. Taking a deep breath, I pressed start, and I was right. The new save files told me about Ben. Now it made sense why the statue appeared when I tried to go to the laundry pool. The game must have anticipated how I would have tried to escape the Day 4 Clock Town. The two save files told me his fate. As I suspected, Ben was dead. He had drowned. The game obviously isn't through with me. It taunts me with the new save files. It wants me to keep playing. It wants me to go further, but I'm done with this shit. I'm not touching it anymore. Any more of these files. This is already way too horrifying for me, and I don't even believe in the paranormal. But I'm running out of explanations. Why would someone send me this message? I don't understand it. I just get too depressed thinking about this. The footage is up here for those who want to see it and try to analyze it. Maybe there's some kind of coded message in the gibberish, or something symbolic in what I went through. I'm too emotionally and mentally drained to fuck with it anymore. Post 3. September 10th, 2010. I know it is early in the morning. I've stayed up all night. I can't sleep. I don't care if people see this. That's not the point. I just want the word to get spread so I don't suffer for nothing. I've lost the will to type about this. The less I dwell on this, the better. I think the video just speaks for itself. I did what you guys told me to do. I played the Elegy of Emptiness song at the first prompt by the game I was given. But I think that's what the game, or Ben, Jesus Christ, I can't believe I'm even humoring the absurd idea that he exists in the game, wanted me to do. He's following me now. Not just in the game, he's in my dreams. I see him all the time, behind my back, just watching me. I haven't gone to any of my classes. I've stayed in my dorm room, with the windows closed and the blinds shut. That way I know he can't watch me. But he still gets me when I play. When I play, he can still see me. The game is scaring me now. It talked to me for the first time. Not just using text. That's already in the game. It spoke to me. Talked to me. It referenced Ben. It talked to me. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it wants. I never wanted this, and I just want my old life back. Stuff like this doesn't happen to people like me. I'm just a kid. Not even old enough to drink yet. It's not fair. I want to go home. I want to see my parents again. I'm so far away from home here at this school. I just want to hug my mom again. I just want to forget that the statue's horrible blank face. My original game file is back. Just the way I left it, before it was gone. I don't want to play anymore. I feel like something bad will happen if I don't, but that's impossible. It's a video game. Haunted or not, it can't hurt me, right? Like seriously though, it can't, right? That's what I keep telling myself, but every time I think about it, I'm not so sure. Post 4. September 12th, 2010. Let me just clear things up. I know you guys are worried about jadusable.
Jadusable.
Jacksepticeye. Top of the morning, ladies. I'm top of the morning,
Natalie.
You guys make such great pirates. Arg. Matey. Mate with me.
Let me swab your poop deck with my tongue.
Jadusable. It's okay.
He finished moving out today, and he said he's going back home. He's just taking this semester off. I'm not really sure what happened. I have a vague idea, but you guys probably know more than I do. I'm jadusable.
Jadusables.
Can you say it correctly, Franz?
No, like
Jadusables.
jadusable.
Jadusable.
Lunchables. I'm Lunchable's roommate. And obviously...
I knew something was wrong with him for a few days now.
He stayed in his room all the time. Fell out of contact with literally all of his friends. And I'm pretty sure he hadn't been eating hardly anything after the second day. I couldn't stay in there anymore, so I've been crashing at a buddy's place. Only coming into my room to get stuff that I needed. I tried talking to him several times, but he would cut me off or keep the conversation brief. When I asked him about his strange behavior, it was like he was convinced something was hunting him. Yesterday I came to grab my philosophy book and he approached me looking awful, like horrible bags under his eyes. He handed me a flash drive and gave me specific instructions. He told me that he needs me to do one last favor for him. He finally explained to me what had been going on, gave me the account info to his YouTube account, and told me that he's getting away from here. That it lured him to play it again instead of trying to change things, and that he shouldn't have done that. And to upload the footage and inform people of what happened. I told him that he could do it himself, and he got this wild look in his eye and told me that he is never looking at that game ever again. And that's the last thing he said to me. He never even said bye when his parents came to pick him up. I never got to meet his parents. I honestly can't tell you what happened when he spoke. It was kind of hard to understand him, and his fucked up appearance really distracted me.
Yeah, pause real quick. Is this another, person?
This is his roommate.
The roommate's taken over.
The college roommate has taken over the story.
I missed that. Okay.
For the fourth post. Yeah.
Whoa.
On the flash drive, there was footage of the game. Last night, a text document with his name and password for YouTube, and a third document called the truth.text, containing what he told me were his notes that he'd taken. He told me that this meant everything to him, that I follow his instructions exactly. Normally I wouldn't be so to the letter for a request over a fucking video game. But the way he spoke and the way he looked made me know that this was really serious, and I'm gonna honor that. I've had this video since yesterday, but had to have someone help me use Pinnacle. It's not really my forte. That after watching it, I had to go back through and look over his other videos on his YouTube account to realize what was going on, and I'm really confused. The video I'm releasing tonight, the truth.text, will be released on September 15th, just like he requested. I haven't dared peek at it yet, so the first time I'll see it will be the first time you see it out of respect to my friend. To answer your questions, no. I haven't tried calling him yet. I think I'll give him a call tomorrow and see if he's okay or not. He should have gotten back home by now. About the video. In this video, I cut straight to when he loaded the Ben file in the game. Looking back, I realized that
jadusable
left the save select screen in because it said different names sometimes. So my bad for that. But all it said this time was the same at the end of his last video. Link and Ben. Nothing different. I wasn't there when he played it, but it looks to me like in the beginning when he first spawns, he's testing out his equipment or seeing what items he has or something, because apparently they've changed randomly before then, after I just think the game got too personal for him.
Post number 5, September 15th.
Oh!
Skipping right over me.
Oh yeah. I forgot that you exist.
Oh, lunchable.
So do I.
Brilliant.
Must be nice.
Post number 5, September 15th, 2010. Hey guys, jadusable here. This will be the last time you'll be hearing from me. And this is my final gift to you. These are the notes that I have taken and the realizations I've made. Before I delve into this, I want to thank you for following me and thank you for listening. It feels like the weight of a powerful burden is about to be lifted. By the time you read this, I won't be around anymore, but after spending 4 days with this maddening game, I have begun to understand what's really at play here, and hopefully after reading this, we can ensure that this never happens again.
I'm really detecting a Howard the Alien vibe right now.
There are things that I could not share with you while you were going on, due to the circumstances to which I'll explain. With Ben blocking any attempt I made to try and relay the truth to you, I tried ever so subtly to warn you guys in various ways. Amidst the chaos and my delirium, I devised to make a barely noticeable pattern in my videos. In all 5 videos I recorded over the 4 days, I have either had the Mask of Truth interacted with a gossip stone, or the Lens of Truth equipped at some point. For you Zelda enthusiasts, these are all symbols of honesty and trustworthiness, and I would hope that one of you may have picked up on the reference. As I played the file, which I would name Ben, being mindful of how Ben was watching over my every move in the game, I made a point to avoid doing anything too obvious, but I sent out a hidden message to you guys. I never equipped the lens, nor the mask, nor visited a stone. And it worked. And the video was uploaded. I prayed that someone would notice the pattern didn't apply to Ben. The tags followed suit too. I hope you guys paid attention to those as well. They were my little messages to you, nothing big enough that would catch Ben's attention or make him suspect anything with Ben manipulating and changing my files. I honestly hope that what you guys saw was close to what actually happened, but there is no way for me to know. This may be a long read. I don't have time to proofread or make all of my research pretty, but here it all is. September 6, 2010, 11 p.m. Can't believe what happened. Not sure if this was some kind of elaborate hoax, despite what fear I can't help but be exceptionally curious about this. Who or what is the statue? A lot of questions here. I'm starting this document as a diary so I can keep track of everything. I'm typing up a summary of what happened so I could come back to it later. September 7th, 2010. 2:10 a.m. Summary was posted here. You can go back and look at my first post on day 4 WMV for that. 4:23 a.m. I can't sleep. I've been trying so hard, but the harder I try, I just get more restless. I just feel like the statue is appearing whenever I close my eyes. 8:20 a.m. Didn't sleep at all, just going to start my day. I don't think I have the energy to go to class today. I'm going to drive back down to talk to the old man, taking my buddy Tyler with me just in case. 1:18 p.m. Back home now. No sign of the old man. Really weird that he appears to be moving the next day, but maybe the for sale sign was up there yesterday and I just didn't notice it. Tyler wants to know what's gotten me all worked up. I didn't tell him. Going to eat, feel like death. 3:46 p.m. Could have sworn driving back from Subway that I saw the elegy statue buried in some shrubbery, staring at me go by. Now I definitely need sleep. 5 p.m. Don't think a lot of people would believe me if I told them about what's happening. Think I'm going to try posting this on the internet. Think I'll just use the summary. These notes are pretty sporadic. 6 p.m. Connected my capture card to my computer to upload the footage. Thought my computer froze for a second, made this strange popping sound when I hooked everything up, but now it seems to be working fine again. My computer can't die on me now. 7 p.m. Footage is finished uploading. The quality's a lot better than I thought it would be. Gee, yes, this is a really special cartridge. I've never had it come through this clear before. 8:45 p.m. Thought I saw an icon pop up on my desktop that looked like the statue's face for a split second. Gave me quite a scare. Getting really unnerved and delirious. I'm going to crash after this. 9 p.m. Began uploading my YouTube video on an alternate account. 9:03 p.m. I don't remember having uploaded a Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines video last year. This is probably the account that I shared with a friend of mine last summer. I hope he doesn't mind me using it to upload this. 9:55 p.m. Posting my summary of day 4 with a link to the YouTube video. Going to try to stay awake, but I am so tired right now. I want you guys to do the conversation, so I'm going to read this one.
Yes, Daddy.
September 8th, 2010, 10:48 a.m. I had a dream about the statue. I dreamed that it was following me in my dream and that I would be minding my own business when I'd feel my neck hairs stand up on end. I would turn around and that thing, that horrible lifeless statue, would be staring with those empty eyes right at me, merely inches away. In my dream I remember calling it Ben. Power of suggestion, most likely.
Daddy always gets a taste.
And never before had I had a dream that I could remember so vividly.
I remember calling it Daddy's Cummies.
11:21 a.m. I don't really want to play that game again. I think I'm going to go back to see if the old man's there instead. 1:35 p.m. No old man, but I had an interesting conversation with his neighbor. I'll post the full thing with my summary of tonight's attempt at playing the game. Going to wait for a bit, though, and see if I can't dig up any information on this Ben guy. 2:45 p.m. I've been getting random inexplicable headaches due to the lack of sleep and keep hearing that song in my head. And also it's flu season, so I need to be careful not to get sick. My immune system is going to be shit right now because of all the all-nighters. 3 p.m. blank. 3:02 p.m. My computer just, on its own, opened up a text document and wrote the words hi and www.cleverbot.com by itself. What the fuck? 3:46 p.m. I went to the website. It's one of those bot chatting programs. I think it's best if I just let the conversation speak for itself.
Hello?
Hello.
Who is this and how are you able to control my computer?
Who am I?
Forgot. You're a bot.
Do you really think that?
Listen, I know whoever's fucking with my computer can see my screen right now.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'll wager that you're one of those IT kids who thinks he's tough shit. You know what you're doing right now is illegal, right?
Is it?
No shit. Are you familiar with the HTE terms? Invasion of privacy? Get the fuck off my computer, kid. I'm trying to masturbate.
I am your computer.
Cool story. Anyway, I'm calling DPS. I picked a bad time to fuck with me, kid.
Should I wait until you play the game then?
What?
That game.
Majora's Mask?
Yes.
How did you know about that?
Because
Because what?
I did it.
Did what?
I played with you.
And you didn't even take me out to dinner first? What the fuck?
Were you scared?
Who the fuck is this?
Ben.
The statue? You're inside my computer now?
Yes.
How?
You connected me.
How the hell did I connect you?
Cables and cords.
How?
Tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm 32. I love the beach. I love to drink Cosmos on the weekends with my girlfriends. I like big black cocks. Do you have a black cock, Ben? As long as you're paying. What do you mean?
Tell me about yourself.
What do you mean?
Tell me about yourself.
I already told you! What do you mean? What the fuck?
No, not you. Him, he needs to do the what?
What the fuck?
What is it that really scares you?
What the fuck?
Answer.
No!
Answer.
What the fuck? How the fuck did you just open that by yourself?
I am your computer now.
How much can you control?
All.
What do you want from me?
To entertain.
You're stuck inside there, you can't hurt me!
Huh.
Question mark?
Go play.
No! You can't hurt me!
Took you longer to type that.
So?
You're not sure.
If you're so fucking powerful, why use a ridiculous website like this to chat with me?
Less messy, more structured, fun.
Fun?
Yes, tradition. I like it.
You think it's funny?
Amusing.
And my notes?
You may write them down.
Why are you letting me?
It is amusing to see what you think of me.
Window closes.
What the fuck?
Fucking like, end my
3:50 p.m. What have I
life.
done?
Drive us home. Drive us off the side of the highway.
I've invited it into my computer.
You'll say as I'm driving.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
I continue to write these notes, write my summaries. I feel like I'm a prisoner in my one place of security. I don't know. I don't know if I'm hallucinating or not. I feel like I'm fucking insane right now. I can feel it watching over me. Even as I type this, Ben is controlling everything in the game, toying with me, leading me like a sheep. But for what? What's the purpose? I know Ben drowned, but why these hauntings? What the fuck am I even doing? It can probably even see this right now. 4:35 p.m. Summary of the Ben WMV playthrough. 7:18 p.m. Ben called me to Cleverbot again. He tells me that he's sorry and wants to be free, and that I can free him, just like how he got onto my computer from the capture card he could spread, but he needs my help. He says I'm special because I can help him. That's the first nice thing he has said. He promises to leave me alone. If I do it, he swears he will. I don't know what to think right now. How can I even trust this thing?
Falling for the first guy to call you pretty.
7:20 p.m. I'm terrified of it, but now it's saying that it was just having fun. It's twisted and fucked up version of fun. He's saying that the game is over. I do want it to be over. He says that he just wants to be free and that he's trapped in the cartridge in my computer and he wants to be freed. I don't want to have to deal with this shit. I don't even know how long I can deal with the watching. It's watching my every move, every keystroke. I've nothing private anymore. It knows everything that's been on my computer. It tells that if it wanted to, it could do horrible things to me. But it hasn't, so I trust it. 8:01 p.m., something tells me that I'm being played again, just like in the game. 9:29 p.m., Ben called me to Cleverbot again. I ignored it. I went to go take a shower. When I came to my laptop, I was welcomed with an image elegy statue staring at me with those dead eyes. I don't want to talk to him. 9:44 p.m., fuck you, Ben. I'm not talking to you. 9:56 p.m. Fuck you, Ben. I'm not talking. 10:06 p.m. Fuck you, Ben. I'm not talking to you. 10:12 p.m. Fuck you, Ben. I'm not talking to you. 10:45. It's been more than a half hour, and the messages have stopped. Ben has stopped. I'm beginning to think that Ben isn't confined to just my computer cartridge. I'm beginning to feel something. It's hard to explain it. I've never been spiritual, but there's something different about the air in my dorm room now. 11:42 p.m. I'm beginning to see the elegy statue randomly as I search the internet in places I shouldn't, places where he shouldn't be. I'd be scrolling down and suddenly I'd be staring at a picture of the elegy statue. Always the elegy statue. I don't know how much more of this I can take.
September 9th, 12:35 a.m.
What the fuck?
I just want to comment on the 4 posts. Fuck you, Ben. I won't talk to you. The way you said it, I don't know why it reminded me of Killing in the Name of by Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know why. Fuck you, do it. Tell me. Fuck you.
I'll have to play a little.
12:35 a.m. My worst fears confirmed. Ben has tampered with my summary of Ben WMV. I looked at the summary that I posted on various forums for the Ben WMV file, and parts have been omitted. There's no mention of Ben existing outside the game. There's no mention of the Moon Children. How could he have been that quick to delete the post without me noticing? I'm wondering if maybe it appeared to me that I was posting everything, but in reality, Ben was posted his own censored version. I'm going to ask Ben why he did it. 12:50 a.m. He isn't responding to me on Cleverbot. It's just giving the generic responses it usually does. I'm just talking to a bot this time. 1:24 a.m. I think Ben is mad at me. 10:43 a.m. The Moon Children appeared in my dreams last night. They lifted up their masks to reveal their hideously disfigured faces, maggots crawling out of their orifices, sunken black holes where their eyes should be, a yellow smile that slowly grew bigger and bigger as they came closer to me, like the inverse of a Jawa. Yeah, man. They told me that they wanted to play. I tried to run from them, but the 4 children pinned me down to the ground with surprising strength. Over them stood the Happy Mask salesman, announcing that he had a new mask that he wanted me to try. In his spastic, sudden movements matching his in-game appearance, he took out a mask modeled off of someone's face that I couldn't recognize, a younger-looking face, and handed it to the Moon Children. Giggling, they latched it to my face, their horrible, broken bodies bouncing up and down. 2 of them held me down while the other 2 began to sew the mask onto my face. My shrieks and screams caused the Happy Mask salesman's face to turn into the most horrific smile I'd ever seen. He sporadically moved around, examining this procedure like a curious doctor, in that impossible movement. I flailed around, but it was to no use. My eyes rolled in the back of my head because of the pain. It felt so real, but I couldn't wake up. I couldn't wake up no matter how hard I tried. I couldn't wake up. After the mask was melted onto my flesh, they began sewing my legs together, then my arms. The horrific feeling of a needle puncturing your legs and pulling them in, rupturing your Achilles tendons and tying them together, resonated throughout my entire body. I tried to scream, but the new mask was pressed so tightly against my face that it was my new face, and my new face had no mouth. I didn't make a sound. I tried telling myself in my head that I was dreaming. Tried telling myself again and again, and suddenly the moon children stopped and looked at me. They just stared. And the happy mask salesman slowly bent down and stared at me, inches away from my face, and grinned when he simply said, "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" Before the moon children resumed with increased vigor, I couldn't wake up. I couldn't wake up. It wouldn't let me wake up until they'd crafted me into another elegy statue. I woke up, sweating, crying, and shaking uncontrollably. I immediately ran to my computer and went for Ben.
Answer me, Ben.
Welcome back.
What is the point of doing this? Why?
Amusing to see.
How?
Fun to play, fun to toy with you, make you feel safe. I wonder how you would have reacted.
To what?
If I hadn't revealed myself and stayed hidden, only doing little things to play with you. Close out your windows, turn off your computer, move your mouse by itself. Little things make you wonder if I am there, but you never know. Give you little hints that I am. I wanted to do something different with you.
You did this before?
Yes, and I will do it again.
To who? Ben? Did you know Ben?
Won't tell that information to you.
How did Ben die?
You know.
No. But how did he drown?
Won't tell that to you.
Why?
It is reserved for another.
Who?
Another who asks.
When?
Later.
The window is closed.
I'm beginning to think that this thing maybe isn't Ben at all. In its sadistic nature, I wouldn't be surprised if it took the boy's name after it killed him.
12:04 p.m. My room is beginning to feel different again. There's something out there. I feel really threatened. Like there's something that's trying to reach out to me and strangle me, but it can't quite get there. 12:46 p.m. I think Ben doesn't want to play with me anymore. I'll play again. I'll play the game again. Ben, can you see this? I'll play the game again, please. Just stop this, please, please. 1:41 p.m. I'm going insane trying to decide what is real and what isn't. Is Ben just playing a trick on me? Or is this for real? Is Ben generating these replies, or are people actually posting them? Did I just see that the screen flicker, or was that just my imagination? Imagine, depending on the internet and trusting your eyes for your entire life and then being blinded. You can't rely on it anymore. You second guess everything. For the brief moment I am looking at my responses to the videos, people were pointing out things that looked fake or photoshopped or whatever. And then there was literally no way for me to know if Ben changed something on purpose to try and shut me up. Or if maybe those replies were just constructed by Ben to try and discourage me from even reaching out. See, I get fucking caught in an infinite mind fuck loop and like this, and this is what has been wearing on my sanity and pushing me to the edge. As I'm writing this, there's no way of even telling if anyone even cares as much as I think they do. Just another fucking trick. Does this whole document even exist? Am I writing nothing? What is this? What's the point of playing? I die whenever I do anything.
You die because you can't figure out the secret.
What?
Thematic.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Their beauty in your suffering.
The window has closed. 4:09 p.m. Ben is making me play the game again. It tells me that it has something very important to show me. 6:23 p.m. Summary of the Drowned WMV playthrough. 9:09 p.m. Summary of the Children WMV playthrough.
You guys had the conversation.
Yeah,
This is
whatever.
the best
Alright.
part of the story.
What the fuck?
What the
Taking
fuck?
my shit. Frowns.
Wait, let me.
I saved the story for you, but I'm gonna bring it home.
It's my fucking show. Of course I'm gonna.
Hey, you're a fucking cocksucking motherfucking piece of shit.
I want you to
There's literally only 3 pages.
Right, Thotimus?
Captain.
That's right. She nods in solidarity with me.
11:52 a.m. The Drowned WMV playthrough was up when I woke up today. I remember typing it up, but I don't even remember posting it. He censored it again. There's no mentioning of the old man. I have no voice anymore. I'm only posting what he wants me to. I'm the mask he uses to disguise himself as he lies. 11:55 a.m. There's an entire video summary of a video that I don't remember doing. Reading through the summary, this sounds morbid, resembling my dream from 2 nights ago, except on a far more sadistic scale. These moon children, there's something more to them, almost as if they're another entity from Ben. Something happened last night that I can't remember. I'm posting the 4th summary to the forums now. Shadow of my chair moved. 12 p.m. Ben won't let me visit YouTube. I can browse the rest of the sites, but he keeps on exiting the window when I go to YouTube. Why? 2:02 p.m. I'm feeling the air start to constrict. I don't think I'm alone here. Whatever aura has been here is getting more violent. 2:44 p.m. I'm trying to contact Ben on Cleverbot. He's not responding. I just get the AI. 3:51 p.m. My ears aren't fooling me. I'm hearing the reverse song of healing. I keep hearing it. 4:23 p.m. Now I'm positive of it. Earlier I thought it was a weird coincidence, but just now I went to open my window, and 3 floors down, at ground level, I saw the old man. I'm completely positive I did. The same guy. He was just staring up at my window, standing in the middle of campus. If any students took notice of him, they didn't seem to acknowledge it. That's where my notes end. I fled my room, taking the cartridge with me. I don't want to go into details of what happened. I'll lose my train of thought as I hammer out these last details. It's been roughly 2 days since then. This is my last summary in service to you of the final videos you guys saw. Matt WMV. The last video entry I made, Matt WMV, began as normal. I was spawned in Clocktown as usual. Nothing seemed to be out of place. Determined to set things right and play the Oath of Order on top of the clock tower on the 4th day, I prepared myself. I sped up time and got to the final day, making my way to the observatory. As I got up to the telescope room and approached the astronomer, he would not let me look into the telescope. He told me that it would be cheating, and that I should follow the rules. Despite my repeated efforts, the game would not let me do the 4th day glitch, no matter how hard or what I tried. I tried working around the game and doing the glitch, but it was adamant this time. Regardless of it, I simply had the illusion of free will in prior games. This time the game became more aggressive than anything I've ever seen. It eventually told me to go to Icona Canyon, where the game would end and it would stop haunting me. Anxious and desperate to end this nightmare, I played the Song of Soaring and ended up there. I was told to check my inventory, that I would find the answers there to end the game. I arrived at Icona Canyon and saved my progress at the owl statue. As I searched through my inventory, I finally noticed that I was missing a reoccurring song, the Elegy of Emptiness. Obviously, once I traveled there and learned the song, I suppose that was the last thing it needed before Ben decided it had enough fun playing with me. Ben is a manipulator. He tries to fool his victims into security and makes you drop your guard like a Venus flytrap. He ensnares them. I am nothing but a puppet to him, and he enjoys seeing what kind of human emotions he can tap into by doing different things. There are still some things about this whole experience that still don't make sense, but then again, I never was good at figuring out these things, and I'm not exactly in the right state of mind to. I'm giving you all the pieces of the puzzle for you to analyze and piece together the missing links. I'm typing these closing thoughts in the library computer of campus, and I've emailed myself the notes I have stored on my infected computer from the last 4 days. I'm then going to combine copy-paste those notes with the closing openings that I've typed here on the safe public computer into one text document. I'm not taking any chances spreading Ben. I would not wish this horrible torment on anyone, and I've made sure to have my bases covered here. I didn't run into any problems with Ben when I was back on my computer trying to email myself the notes. Went right under his fucking nose. He has no idea what he has just let me do. Had no problems opening the text documentary from my infected computer in my email either. I can't describe to you how it feels to finally be able to get the word out in this post. The nightmare ends here. That said, do not download any of my videos or anything about my videos through a YouTube video, audio ripper, a screen grab, whatever. I don't know how he can spread, but I know that just watching them on YouTube, reading my text won't be able to allow him to spread, otherwise he wouldn't have needed my help in the first place. But I strongly recommend you do not take anything you see streaming online onto your own personal computer. This will be my last posting I'm putting up on this forum here for the world. If you see any further posts from me after today's current date, September 12th, and after the current time, 12:08 a.m., discredit them. It already has proven to me that Ben can access my account, password, and manipulate my computer, and like I said, I have no idea to what extent it can do to this. But know that it will do anything to break free. He is desperate. To ensure your safety, just forget about me. Please. And obviously this goes without saying, but from here on out, do not download any images I may have put up, any files, anything. This 5th day will be my last day. I'm going to burn the cartridge and then come back to destroy my laptop again. Even though I don't even know you, this is sort of bittersweet for me. This semester I really don't have any friends, or rather, I stopped paying attention to them. But I suppose that's partially to blame because I am the genius who picked to live in a single. I suppose someone to get a hold of me and save me before I got too immersed into this game would have literally saved my life. However, it proved too much for me. I'm just glad it happened to me and I could get the warning out so that Ben dies here. Lastly, thank you for taking the time to open this and open yourselves up to me by hearing my story. Despite maybe not believing me, you didn't have to do that. Really, you shouldn't have. Your support this entire time has kept me going, and now I am finally free of this. I think it does this subtle thing from the midpoint forward, where it just kind of becomes apparent that he might not even be writing this anymore, you know?
Maybe.
How do you feel about it?
It's good. Yeah, I'm starting to remember more of it. I'd be interested to go back at some point and watch the videos.
The videos, I think they do continue. I think the whole discredit them thing he uses to a good effect. I think he films some kind of conclusion, and it kind of reveals the narrator a little bit. Mm-hmm. I think, if I remember correctly, I think it shows another death scene or something, and it's kind of oh, I think the narrator's dead, kind of thing.
It just it all happens really quickly.
It's 4 days.
In a matter of days, he
gets the one-stop ticket to a fucking virtual haunting.
Yeah, he becomes engrossed in it so quickly.
It reminds me of It Follows a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's got this kind of pervasive yet patient horror about it. And the whole following aspect, the feeling like you're being watched, it's very eerie.
Daddy always gets a taste.
Yeah.
Luigi always gets a taste.
So yeah, what were your thoughts, Tenron?
Oh, it's definitely creepy. I feel like if I were in that position,
I'd shit myself. I'd take a big old grumpy dumpy on that.
I'd be more interested
Bitch, I showed you
in
my dick.
I'd be more interested, and I think I would. I think I'd be okay investing myself further than he did.
Oh yeah, I think I would do the same thing.
That'd be
I think I would only tap out at the clever bot thing. I really
it'd be
like
detrimental, but
I like glitches, but I don't think I ever would have stopped playing the game to the point that the clever bot would have needed to say like, "Hey, go back and play the game." I think I would have like played it through as much as I could have.
yeah.
I'm surprised it took him so well. I mean, also that being said, I would have never deleted the Ben file.
Hell no.
It seems like that's almost like the hair trigger to like
He was trapped and
the
then when he
haunt
deleted it.
happening. Yeah, like he kind of set it free.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's like, it's a hairpin, and I don't think
I
I ever would have done that, especially if the guy just said goodbye Ben. I would have been like, oh, this is sentimental value. I'm sappy like that. I would hold on to it.
I wonder what the story would be like if that was one of the first things he did, was delete the save file.
It kind of was though.
Well, no, he played.
He played a little bit. He got haunted and then he deleted it.
He played.
What I'm
He played a lot of it.
is there's a fork, and the way it kind of implies is, we read the story where he deletes it at that point. Sure. I'm saying, wouldn't someone of rational mind going through this experience say, why the fuck am I playing my file? I'm going to play Ben's. Instead of delete it.
Yeah, instead of delete it, why not hop on it and see what's up?
Yeah, to see what happened.
I'd be super apprehensive, but
I just feel like he would have saved himself half of the fucking story if he just played Ben's file through.
Yeah, he made a dumb decision.
I do like them. I didn't pick up on the mirroring.
He also seems like kind of paranoid.
Yeah, but I mean,
man.
I don't really blame him. It's all very unnerving. I always thought Majora's Mask as a game was kind of unnerving.
I mean, even from the beginning of the story, the character is painted as very paranoid, talking about how creepy the man was. So this is definitely he has that predisposition to being very paranoid. Perfect character with Majora's Mask. Like, yeah, I'd like to know. Actually, I'd like to know more about the old man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What significance?
I really don't know. They don't give you anything. I don't think there's any kind of supplemental material that would answer that question. I don't think all that the ROMs do. I might as well bring it up. All that the ROMs do is kind of walk you through literally what he said.
It's really creepy though. I think at some point I'd like to sit down and watch it. Can I walk outside? Oh, it's not behind him.
No, it's not there yet. This is the beginning when it doesn't quite follow him around as much. There it is. The fight where he just laid there dead. See, like, he did everything. And there's some stuff here he didn't talk about, but like this was paired with the story.
Yeah.
It follows the same exact thing he said.
Ben becomes Matt.
Narrator's totally fucking dead, dude. It's great. It's great. I think it's really great that we read this on 100 because it's just like, it's a classic. You know, when I thought about doing this show, I told myself, like, fuck, we gotta do Ben Drowned at some point.
Yeah.
It's just nuts. It's just nuts.
Good.
It's nuts on a multifaceted level. And I really appreciate the complexity and the level of detail he went into. It's not hard to ROM hack anything. It's not hard to manipulate old games on a new computer. Gary's mod fucking does it. You know, it shows it so well.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was fucking awesome.
Fast times at Friedmont High.
What are your closing thoughts, Tenron?
Nothing really of any, importance. Just, stay safe out there for the holidays. Hug your loved ones.
I think this comes out like
Merry Christmas, everyone.
October, like the second week of October.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
What about you, Frowns?
Kwanzaa.
Loose lips suck dicks.
It's kind of accurate.
Well, this is probably going to be one of the last ones I'm on for a while, so...
Oh, that's not true.
It's been a pleasure being
It's
on.
not here yet, but it's going to get mailed to you when I get it here. I got you a mic.
So you guys are going to do online meetings?
I got him a snowball because I've been doing online ones with other people.
Huh.
You're such a cutie pie.
Well, you're going to be 7 hours away, and I'm going to want to keep you on the show, and I just got to teach you. You would use the same technology I do. You have a Mac?
Yeah.
You got a machine. So open up GarageBand, plug it in the same way, let your computer know it's there, and just press record.
It's pretty cool.
It's so fucking easy, man.
Why don't we end with a tutorial?
Absolutely not.
All right, guys, I'm going to show you how to get a really nice smoky eye in just 5 seconds flat.
So,
take a piece of shit, smear it in your eye, take a fan brush, boop, you're done. Throw some glitter on there if you got an extra second.
There are several episodes I've done online, and there are several more I want to do with people who do own really nice mics that don't live around here. Sir Booberry hasn't been on an episode since like the 80s. Has a fucking nice mic. He does his online stream. It's awesome. Fucking Gnarly Charlie. He streams video games on Twitch, on Facebook, on Xbox, everything. He has the same fucking microphone I do. Cannibal Siren, who is the only person who I've actually recorded episodes online with, the quality always comes out great in the snowballs. It's kind of it's like the speaker, tiny in a circle, and it just sits right in front of your computer. But the quality is, I would say, just as good.
Awesome, man. I'm excited.
And I know you have a good microphone, don't you?
No.
No. Great. So this
nothing.
This was episode 100. We read Ben Drowned, the episode 100's. I guess it wasn't really even a special. It was just like, we read something good because it's episode 100. Congratulations.
Well,
Congratulations, everyone who got here.
Maybe for the last 5 minutes, I'd like to turn things around to you, Cap, because I want to get express in the simplest way from 0 to hero. Like,
Honey, you mean Hercules!
what is it that you think has improved the most?
I think doing this for so fucking long, the quality only gets better. The more serious we are while reading, or maybe it's the more crisp it sounds. Like, I'm always trying to make it sound better, and every time a new episode comes out, I think I'm getting like one step closer every time to like the perfect sound for this type of podcast, because it's kind of hard to kind of nail the tone sometimes, specifically with wild people, and everyone brings something new, so you kind of have to adjust. I think episode 99 was really interesting because it was kind of the first time I had like a really... Intimate's not quite the right word, but it was small. It felt small for the first time in like a really long time. Like the show just felt like a little bit more clear, a little bit more condensed. maybe it was the way we were talking, but Harold just he like mellowed it, but in a fun way. And I don't think the show, it doesn't have room for any of that. So I think like the fact that I'm still surprised by how it sounds sometimes is probably like the thing that's changed the most. Because like I'm probably this show's biggest fan. I'm the one who has to fucking listen to it 6 times on its way to export, you know.
Well, bouncing off that, what episode? Okay, so let's try to.
If you're gonna ask me to play favorites, it's so fucking tough.
Nope,
man.
I'm not gonna ask favorites. I'm actually gonna ask a little bit more specific.
Sure.
So, if you can, off the top of your head, what episode are you most proud of editing wise?
Oh wow, I would say Pen Pal came out really great with Frowns. I think that was the first time where I was like, let's do something a little bit different. I looked for very specific music, and I cued certain sound effects on time.
That's really cool.
Yeah, like we read stories about kids walking through the forest, so I specifically looked for forest things, and then when it says like the bushes rustled in the story, I would put in like an amp. I would amp up the forest noise a little bit so that I kind of... It's not tough. You literally just highlight a section and then strike the volume up a little bit. But it's even a subtle touch like that like, I didn't do on, like, any other episode. Sometimes I play with sound effects, and I would say some of the funniest examples of my doing the same thing but opposite in tone is, like, whenever Harold has been on, because... we always do these shitty movie things, and I find ways to, like, put in preview music underneath it, and it just amplifies the level of bullshit of everything we're doing. It's like, in one of his first episodes, it's like he does, like, a hero adventure flick. He, like, gives me a shitty concept, and then in the next one, he gives me a shitty rom-com, and, like, I just found the perfect music to go underneath each of his descriptions, and it makes it sound like a sketch, you know? It makes it sound like it's really odd. It's almost like Lonely Island-esque. It's like, it's that kind of stupid. Trouble on Dookie Island.
Have there been... This is a two-parter question.
Sure.
Have there been any episodes that the actual... So, the first part of this two-parter is, what episode, maybe not the story, but the episode itself, turned out the scariest? Like, you felt while listening to it.
Well, being here, living in my haunted fucking house.
So, there's a second part to my question, and I'll save it, but go on.
The answer to that will always be episode 44, which is, the story is called Have You Seen This Painting of a Hallway, but the episode is called Have You Seen This Painting of Django, I think. And it's literally just about this guy who, in the same kind of Bren-drowned, like, perpetual fear, every time he turns and looks at this painting that he got in the mail, it changes a little bit.
Ooh.
It's very interesting. I would say that one, I was editing it at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just felt my house like moving. I felt my house moving as I listened to this fucking story, and I got Babadook feels real hard, because the monster they describe kind of looks like a Babadook. It's a black shrouded figure with like big fingers and like a smile, like it's just creepy. So my mind goes to Babadook like every fucking time, and it skeeves me the fuck out, man.
So my second part of this question, you might have to think hard.
Sure.
In any episodes, while editing, listening over again, have you ever heard anything weird?
I will say it a million times. I think on one of Frowns' episodes, we literally... I might have cut it. It might still be there. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what episode it was. Or if we were just hanging out. But the door fucking upstairs opened. I know I fucking heard it.
Which door?
Like the side door. Or the garage door. One of those two that's like right above us right now. Like if you're sitting here, you could hear the garage open. Mm-hmm. That's how loud it is.
Didn't
so
you
that
go
stands...
check it out?
Of course I did. I thought someone was in the fucking house. I was like, come with me, and you were like, no.
Oh my
Or
god.
frowns, come with me.
And I said, oh, I'm wearing my vagina on my outside
So, like,
today.
I wouldn't say that this house, like, terrifies me ever, but it certainly doesn't help, you know.
So you can't. So
When I edit the episodes by myself, I usually have, like, all the lights on, and I really hope that we're joking. Because, like, when the episodes get serious, it freaks me out a little bit.
like right now, you and I joking.
No, I'm talking
Oh.
about when I'm editing the episode.
Okay,
When I have
okay.
to listen to the story again and, like, put creepy music under it and,
Yeah.
and listen to every single fucking
So
word
you-
we're saying to make sure it's edited properly.
You can't think of an example, like something specific during. Not like when you're editing, you have
Yeah.
to listen to the video, but like, do you ever hear anything in the recording?
No, there's been nothing like that.
Nothing like that?
Nothing like that. I believe me, I would love to
Yeah,
cite like an
yeah.
episode or something, but the most I could say is like I really mean it. When I was editing episode 44, I literally felt like something was like around me, and it and like it just made me want to turn the episode off. But I got through it because I'm not a pussy. I just, I did it with the lights on, I was doing it in the dark in my bedroom at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Because, like, I usually don't give in to this kind of feeling.
Sure.
And I don't know if I was high or if I was just lonely or something, but, like, I bought into it, man. When I felt the house move, I was like, fuck this story, man.
I don't know if this
fuck
is,
this fucking story.
I don't know if this is too personal, but your room creeps me out.
My room?
Yeah.
My bedroom?
Yeah, because it has 2 entrances.
Yeah, I lock both of them
just
every
like
night.
a woman,
Well,
right?
that's only get you so far, my friend.
Yes and no. I think
It basically, to me, so walls are a different. I'm no like voodoo guy, spiritual guy, anything.
Sure.
But like, walls are a different type of barrier for me than doors are.
Of course,
And
because
3
you can't
walls-
walk through a fucking wall.
3 walls are better than 2
2.
walls, and 2 doors are just 2 access points, even
I
locked or
agree.
not. So it's just like it's potentiality.
I would say the potentiality makes me safer. That's how I argue that. If there's
really?
if there's another entrance,
So you have
then that
another way
means I
to-
have another exit. You're just a pessimist.
I'm a realist, friend.
I'm not gonna ever have a situation where I have one person coming in that door and one person coming in that door. I don't see it happening.
I'm not talking
Those are not the
about
odds.
people.
Yeah, I know you're
Odds.
not.
I'm really glad you said odds, because I wanted to mention, as a final thought to wrap up, my favorite episode I've ever listened to was The Odd Kids.
You liked Odd Kids.
That
I knew you would, man.
I was listening to it, and
We're on mushrooms the entire fucking time, but that episode is crazy.
I was captivated by
Don't you?
the content.
Where Am I has some really great stories, doesn't he?
Yes.
The Mayhem Mountain one, it's so weird. It's weird. It's just, it has this kind of feeling. And no, I like this. I think giving myself a half an hour to just kind of talk about the show, episode 100, I like it.
Yeah.
So, like, Where Am I's fucking episodes, man, they just get better and better. It's so weird. Like, he just keeps reading these kinds of stories that make you think more than, like, anything. Like, we did the Mayhem Mountain.
He brought Odd Kids to the table, right?
No, Odd Kids was sent to me by someone.
Oh, okay.
He
brought
knew of
another
it.
story to the table. What one was that? I think.
I think he might have brought Mayhem Mountain.
Oh, okay.
I think he might have told me to read that, or Django did. I think one of them did. And Mayhem, Odd Kids, and New Fish are like 3 of the, like, when people ask me about, like, what are some of the best stories I've read on the show, I would usually say, like, Whistlers, Uncle Jerry's Family Fun Zone, The Goat Man, Anansi's Goat Man story.
Goat Man.
With Gestalt. That episode's fucking awesome.
That is creepy.
Gestalt has some good episodes too. We read Psychosis on another one. That one's great. That one gets inside your fucking head. It's awesome.
Gestalt brought Goatman to the table.
Gestalt
too,
brought
I think.
Goatman.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He was into that shit.
One I'm really
Django brought... I love to talk about this episode. Dogscape. He hates that episode. I think it's great. I think Dogscape is such a fun idea, and I know he regrets bringing it to the table because that's a long episode, and he wanted to quit halfway through it. Dogscape.
I haven't listened to that one.
Dogscape 37.
Oh.
37. It's nuts.
Well, my first episode was in the 50s, right?
50. I want to say no. You were 40s. You
Was
were
it 40s?
1999.
Yep.
Was like 43.
Yep. That was a cute one.
Mr. Bear?
Yeah, it was cute.
Mr. Bear is great.
Creepy cute.
We went straight from Mr. Bear into Whistlers.
Yeah.
You know, when I tell people to listen to the stories and like some of the best stories we read, 1999 and Whistlers always fucking come up. Those
Yeah.
are just two solid fucking stories, man.
Frowns are.
And then we got Frowns over here, who I just read a bunch of bullshit
You want
with.
to input?
No, I'm just I don't know. I feel like we're losing them right now. I feel like they're not high enough at this point. Okay.
There are some just enthralled individuals right now.
They're taking breaks between daddy's cummies and enemas, and they're just like they're just working with what they've got, you know.
So before I started like dating Thotimus Prime, she had told me that she had listened to like maybe 8 of the episodes, and I hope to God, Frowns, she got to episode 8.
I hope so.
We recently, him and I, on drive back from where he moved to, because we had so much time, we listened to his favorite episode, which is episode 8, where we read the sex operator story, where we just get belligerently high and spend and awfully racist. We have no shame.
Social security card.
It's so hard to say social security card in Japanese.
Found you.
When people ask me some of the funniest episodes, I will usually give them a Frowns episode, a Harold Heavy Hands episode, or a Sir Booberry episode. Sir Booberry also reads some really fun stories, some really good stories. His episodes just don't have as many hits, I don't think, because he's afraid to share them with people.
Because everybody likes...
Because the illicit drug use.
Oh.
Because the illicit drug use. I think, here's a fun fact. I don't know if you've listened to Cryin' Hawaiian's episode, or any of his episodes. He has a bunch of good ones. But he was a fan before he was on the show. He was someone who I told about the show, and he immediately listened to, like, all of it. And I was like, how far away do you live?
Yeah.
Because if you're this enthusiastic about it, get on the fucking show.
Yeah.
And he's been real into it ever since. We did a 2-parter that's coming out. I think the first part comes out actually, like, this week as we're talking. It's about Ouija boards.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you would like it. It's all about a Ouija board haunting.
Why couldn't it be about fucking surfboards, bruh?
That's what it's called.
Get me some fresh
It's called Surfing the Ouija Board.
Nice, bruh.
Because his name's Cryin' Hawaiian, bruh.
Bruh.
Let's talk about other people. I think Harold Heavy Hands, he spent a lot of time feeling bad about himself. He thinks he's a bad reader. He thinks that he doesn't bring anything, like, enthusiastic to the table.
Well, then he needs to whip his dick out and throw it on the table.
And I feel like 99 was really fun. I think each episode he kind of comes out a little bit and does something new. It's very interesting. Terry never disappoints. Terry the Tickler. He always just does his own thing. And we read some solid fucking stories on his episodes. Like, you'll never get a more funny version of Jeff the Killer. That story is shit. And Terry and I just fucking take a dump on it. I talk about Django's episodes in, like, every episode, so I'm not going to talk about Django. I'm not going to talk about Django right now.
I don't blame you. Arguably, Django's are the best.
Django's episodes are just the fucking best, man. Which is why, like, I keep wanting to read Baraska. Everyone who's listening, who's probably a fan of creepypastas, knows that Baraska is, like, one of the coolest. And it's all about, like, I think snow, mountains, and, like, people lost. And I'm like, that's such a Django thing. I need to read that with Django. It's also a very Whistlers thing. But fuck, man, I can't keep giving him all the good shit.
It's alright.
I gotta spread the wealth.
Share the moment. Share life.
I guess another thing I could say going forward is we're going to have a couple more new people on the show, too. I've already got, like, 3 or 4 lined up, and their rear end to go. And I know that they're the type of people who I've either acted with in the past or are just looking to do something new and interesting. And I think this show it's become an outlet for a lot of people to kind of express themselves without being worried about
without really saying anything.
Without even, I would say without really saying anything, but I would more so say without feeling like anyone is listening.
Sure.
Because obviously people are listening to the podcast. That's the point of it. But like, they don't know us, so our level of anonymity almost grants us a kind of,
Peace.
don't let the 4chan fucking weaponize their autism and find out who we are through our IP addresses and shit.
Oh my goodness. That's what the military funding is
like
for.
Dash Poll on 4chan. They'd probably agree with most of my opinions on this show, actually.
We're forced to.
I mean, we're joking 95% of the time. 95.
I made a reference earlier.
Yeah.
Howard the Alien. Do either of you know what I was talking about?
With what?
Howard the Alien?
Absolutely not.
You should be shot for just
Listeners,
mentioning
if you don't know who Howard the Alien is, just Google it. Just Google it. It's this weird. It's like a compilation. It's a meme. It's a meme now. It's the most viral meme.
Oh, is that
currently.
the one where he's sitting in the chair?
No. It's a metal.
Oh, shit.
It's a metal alien that's dancing to.
That's the new one.
Music by some rapper. I forget his name.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that one recently. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, his name is Howard the Alien.
It's really stupid.
It's so stupid. But that's the reason I bring it up. Because you laugh at how stupid it is. You don't laugh at it. You laugh because it's so stupid.
Let's get back to talking about the show and not Howard the Alien.
Hey,
I'm like ready to fucking pass out over here.
You should create a meme, and you should look up. You should say how many episodes this is so far. It's 100 episodes, and then you should look up the average amount of episodes per podcast, and just have it like at 101 podcasts. So the crying man meme.
Yeah.
First frame, he's crying with lots of pasta being at 100 episodes. The second frame is average lifespan of podcast being 101 episodes. And him just head tilted back, sobbing.
Tears. Just tears everywhere.
I like memes, folks. It's therapy for me. It gets me out of bed.
It really does.
I wake up and I hit your Facebook, hit your Reddit. And I see some
Frowns finds all his best work on Instagram.
Instagram, sometimes Twitter, sometimes. Everyone has their own particular, media that they go to. I follow some really good pages on Facebook. Some really nice nihilism pages that are really excellent.
I just got an idea just now.
Is it involving the Great Sleep? Because that would be pretty.
I know you want to fall asleep.
You're
but
tired?
I wanted to go through something.
Yeah, man.
Dude, you're pathetic.
Yeah,
so,
fuck you, cocksucker.
So to end this little edition special, I think I want to talk about like each of the people.
Prayer.
Sure.
Just mention each of the people. Franz McBoohoo, he's been on a ton of fucking episodes. I would say his best is probably episode 8, but arguably 80 with Pen Pal. Pen Pal's just a great story. This was really great too. Episode 100 came out real cool. Disco Dracula. What is his best episode? 85 was really good. We read Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Somewhere in the 30s we read like Squidward Suicide and Suicide Mouse and all that shit. And he's the lost episode guy. He has a lot of fun little episodes.
What was 56 and 61? I think I listened to one of them.
Consult the master list.
Pause for station identification.
It's not too hard to bring it up. I got the master right here. You said 56 and 61?
61.
61 was really good. 61 is the fine print. That's the one about creepy partners and creepy girlfriends and shit. 56 was the one where we talk about the canceled script for It in 2015. That one's pretty fun too. We don't do many talky talk episodes. Scutch and Disco are like my talky talk guys. We'll just talk about shit more than we'll read stories. It's fun to have that kind of podcasts sometimes too.
Yeah.
Django Phillips, man, Uncle Jerry's is fantastic. That's 22. For some reason, the most listened to in the entire show is 16, which is the Slenderman Spooktacular. Doesn't surprise me. People love Slenderman. Second most listened to episode 31 with Django. Confessions of a Deep Sea Diver. People love that shit. People loved it. Second most listened to episode. I love 34 and 35. That's Games with Ghoulies. I just think they're fun. It's not like we're reading stories. It's kind of like we're reading, like, let's play a game. It's very interesting. Django, speaking for Django, likes the later episodes where we read short stories. I like the ones where we read longer ones. I think it's funnier. Next is Sir Booberry. We really like, a lot of people really like his first couple episodes. They always talk about how, 7 and 12.
Which one was 12?
That's like Booth World Industries and the Walmart. The guy who steals the kid at Walmart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's very interesting. It's a very interesting episode with a lot of cool little short ones that a lot of people probably know. Terry the Tickler.
Yeah, that creepy... the Sir Booberry, the Walmart guy.
Yeah.
Admiring
the small child.
Yeah.
Terry the Tickler, I would say his best episode is probably 30. That's the Jeff the Killer episode. 82 and 92 are super interesting. We kind of cover topics and we talk for a little bit. You're falling asleep.
I know that, you cunt.
Mr.
I said
Skellybones.
5 minutes ago.
Third most listened to episode, Mr. Skellybones. Episode 83. Third most listened to is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark Part 1. People just love that shit. I tagged the fuck out of it, and people click on it a bunch. Which goes to say the next person on the list, Bunch of Baby Ducks, episode 83. But Bunch of Baby Ducks, we read Not Hot But Spicy on a bunch of his episodes, which I don't read with, anyone else. And that's always really fun, to, just give a person a source. To just read a source with one person. Rocky Hockey - Harold Heavy Hands, his first couple episodes are great. He, with the movie pitches and shit, and the movie reenactments, I just think we tap into a different kind of stupid-ass comedy, and it works really well. Space Cowboy's first episode, No End House, was the most listened to for, a really long time. Because he just shared the fuck out of it. He was so happy to be on this show. He was my old roommate, and he just loves this shit. Gnarly Charlie, one of my best friends, his second episode, 79, fantastic. We read, an alien story about a changeling, and it's fucking great. Cannibal Siren, the only fucking vagina on the podcast. She always reads really well. She has a lot of acting experience. I met her in college. She's a dame. She's a dime a dame. Gestalt, I've known him for a very long time. He's my writer. Goatman episode. It's just fucking awesome. You really liked Bedtime. That's also Gestalt. Bedtime is the one about the kid who every time he goes to sleep...
Oh, he hears
ghosts.
in the dark.
Ghosts just fuck with him, and they crawl into his bed and shit.
The parents finally start to get in on the vibe, and then they move houses.
And then part 2 is he's now 40, and he's still dealing with it.
Yeah.
It has a very Stephen King thing. Where Am I? We already talked about him. All his episodes are fucking good, man. But, I hope he's listening to this, because... We probably don't have him on enough to let him know how much of a fucking gem his episodes are. I've known for close to 15 years. He's great. Strawberry Shortcake. He's only on 2 episodes, but they're sweet fucking episodes with Django. Every episode with Django is a good episode. Crying Hawaiian, the fan turned fame. He has a fun alien episode. He was the first person I covered aliens with. That's 52. No, that's 64. And then we do the Ouija board in 89 and 90, which are going to be a good 2-parter. It kind of does a conjuring thing. It's very cool. Then we got you, Tenron Otrin. Whistlers, man. 59, 60, and then I think 81 or 74. 74. We did the 3 Whistler parts back to back to back almost.
You know what they say about whistlers? If you can whistle... You could put your thistle in my bristle bone.
Scutch McGee, all of his episodes deal with stories dealing with children.
Sexy children.
He's really afraid of children. He thinks children are terrifying, yet he has to. he's a dad. So it's really funny to have his perspective on the show. We read about, like, clowns and killer children. His episodes are real fun. Tom Bongmadil, my Brooklyn boy, he hopped in for 2 episodes under weird circumstances, and I wouldn't say either of them are challenging to listen to, because he's very critical. He edits and he writes. He's an English major, so he more critiques the stories than, like, anyone else on the podcast. It's very interesting. I would say him and Gestalt have that in common. Gestalt will just stop and be like, this is written so bad. Yeah. Spum and Cum, my brothers, they've been on 2 episodes.
I definitely listened to...
I think 73 is, yeah.
That's shortly after your trip, right?
We talk about doing acid in Disney World.
Yeah,
it's pretty much like the
listened to
first.
that.
It's a very funny episode. I think that's the 4th most listened to out of all of them. And that's mostly due to my brothers and their friends. They just think the episode's very funny. We do a lot of Toast on their episodes. Frowns is in the first one. Toast is like short, like 1-pagers.
Yes.
And then my last 2 additions to the show, Punxsutawney Trill and Deputy Dewey, I had been trying to get them on the show since, I would say, like, episode 40. But they're too fucking busy. It's hard to get 3 people all to sit on the couch sometimes. I think you guys are an exception because you guys hang out already. Whereas they don't get to hang out all the time, so it's like 3 different people with very different schedules. I think Deputy Dewey works in, like, a different state, and I think Punxsutawney Trill is back in school, so it's very hard to get everyone, like, together.
Just give up.
Their episodes are really funny, and I know that they have more friends that they want to bring onto the show, too, and I know that they would be good additions. But we'll have to see what the future holds. I think their episodes are really funny because they both have such...
There's an audition process now, folks.
There isn't. There really isn't. I think
You have to send in a 2-minute clip.
Harold Heavy Hands really...
Keep your slate short and clean.
I have to edit his episodes very hard sometimes. Like, I have to edit them with a heavy hand. And it's ironic that his name is Harold Heavy Hands. But even his episodes sound good. So it's just like, yeah, I'll put in a little bit more work to make you not sound like an idiot.
What the listeners don't know is that at the end of each episode, after the end of each recording, we're given notes on how we did. He takes notes during these.
This is coming up in your notes. I just want you to know that.
Thank you, notes. And it if I don't come prepared with pen and paper, I'm told I can't record. That's happened a couple times. I was prepared to record that night, and because I wasn't prepared to take notes afterwards, I wasn't allowed to because I wasn't improving on my craft. So
Tenron, tell me, you
sit up straight.
Did you ever since this morning, like, think about inverting this episode back on me? Should we record tonight? Or was this an idea you had while we were sitting here?
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay. So I didn't even think about that. It kind of, I was inspired in the moment.
That's great.
I felt it was the right thing to do.
Well, you were fucking wrong.
He wakes up to say
I hope
that.
you take after Ben. Go drown.
Go drown. Tentron. Oh, Trin.
Tension, trin.
Tinker. Peter.
Now he's on your team again.
No, I'm fucking like, what's happening? Why are we still recording?
Frowns.
The 100's over. Let's go. Time to fucking
It's
go.
100 episodes.
Talk to us about what you thought.
I'm sorry, you two were busy talking about other bullshit. I had no room
We're
to
talking
enter.
about the whole show, man.
Talk to us about what you're feeling.
You're
right
the
now.
OG.
What am I
and
feeling right
You
now?
don't have any opinion to share? You're the
Well, I'm sorry, y'all. We're talking.
I created this show with 2 other people. This show was only done because I had 2 people say this sounds like fun. And one of them was Frowns McBoohoo.
And you know what he's doing right now, folks? Not
Sleeping.
taking notes.
I'm fucking taking all this.
The other one is Disco Dracula, who Frowns will always hate because I gave him a theme song.
I never got shit. Shit. I just get
a lot of episodes.
Except like more episodes than anyone else.
All I get is the sleepies.
So he's been here since the very beginning, and I'm humbled by his inclusion in this show.
Be humble.
As far as Tenron goes, you
Lot
should
of
have
work
been
to do.
you should have been included the entire time. I just think we Fick, man, we've been doing this for 2 years. We've come a long way in 2 years.
Yeah, we've only been fucking for a couple years now, so
Yeah, man.
even though we've known each other,
One day we'll settle down.
Dicks out for Harambe.
Oh God, and Triple X. Dicks
He
out.
doesn't get it.
Dicks
They're
out
all
for
up there
Triple X.
together.
He gets the ass.
Oh man. Well, I really appreciate the inversion there because I think 100 triple digits, it is something to talk about, and I appreciate your questions.
Shakes hand.
Yeah. So
Hugs, man.
we I feel like several people have told me
I want to go to bed.
Shut your goddamn mouth, you son of a bitch.
I'm being
Several
held
people-
against my will.
several people have told me
I'm
that
naked.
this show has almost made them better people,
Jesus Christ.
and I think that's just
Fuck.
Shut up.
I just mean in the sense that they feel closer to their friends now that they have experienced doing this with their friends, and I think that that's very magical. And I didn't get to talk about it very much on your episode that I mentioned it, but we had someone reach out to us, I would say somewhere around episode 60 something, 70 something, and ever since then he's just been he lives all the way across the fucking country, and he's just really fucking love your show, dude. Keep doing what you're doing. And I think that's dope.
I thought you were going to be well, my name's Dr.
Granted,
Death,
he's in Colorado.
and people feel much better about themselves after listening to me
Yeah,
speak.
I'm the Dr.
God.
Phil of Creepypasta.
I am God, thank you. Thank you, feel better.
Amen.
Alas, my children.
You're awake now.
No, I'm in.
What were you going to say, Tenron?
I was gonna express some sentiment.
Oh, fucking do it. Light me up.
I was gonna
bitch.
say that I'm really gonna miss you, Frowns.
Oh, where am I going?
We are going to miss him.
I'm going to hell.
He's going to hell, boy.
I'm gonna miss his wit. I'm gonna miss his comedic timing. I'm gonna really, you know what I'm really gonna miss about Frowns?
His juicy tits.
McBoob-hoo.
Fucking juicy tits.
I see what you did
Just
there.
Keep stroking it.
Oh.
Keep stroking it, Tenron.
Tendrone.
Oh, frown on my boob-hoo.
10-inch. Oh man. 10-inch. Oh man.
I really like your.
I'm gonna pass out. I just took a giant laugh.
He took a giant shit. Fucking split his anus open.
Frown on
He's
my
like the
boob-hoo.
He's like the Joker now.
I like that you're saying it wrong on purpose.
You want to know how I got these scars? I took a huge fucking shit and just split my anus right open.
You and anuses.
And now, I'm always smiling.
So
Frowns make anus who.
Frowns may be.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can't see the face. Anus who?
Frowns may be leaving the state, but he is not leaving our hearts, ladies and gentlemen.
We've signed him on for a few more seasons, even.
We got him to. He's gonna do an online commute. He's gonna do remote access.
Ask me how much I'm getting paid.
God damn it.
Jack shit!
Resume building.
Oh yeah, that's going right. Dank meme and dank recording. Creepy pasta. Oh, you cook? Well, that's such a lovely skill.
Welcome to William and Sonoma. Welcome to William Sonoma.
Ooh, is that a Halloween cooking themed show?
That's really good. That's terrifying.
Nate.
Oh man, yeah, we're done. We don't have to talk anymore. I think I'm gonna take. See, the listeners don't know this, but months sometimes take place in between episodes because we record, and then don't for 2 months, and then record. So I'm gonna take like a 2-month break on recording because we're so backed up.
That was, yeah. Hey,
The next thing I'm gonna record, man, is gonna be like an episode that's coming out during Halloween.
yeah,
Yo.
you're backed up, man.
Yo. I didn't get to be on Halloween last year.
Because I do Christmas with you every year.
And
I don't think we're doing a
Thanksgiving.
Christmas one this year.
Well, I need to be on some type of holiday one.
Why?
Because it's tradition! Tradition!
See, what you don't
Tradition.
understand. What you don't understand there is that the Christmas ones are interesting because horror by nature is already customary for Halloween. So when we do Christmas episodes, it's like our own Christmas special. You know, it's like our off-brand time to do something stupid.
And here's what you don't understand.
I'm
Jack
Are you doing the Jack Nicholson?
Jack Nicholson.
I've talked about this on the last 2 episodes already. I mentioned our Jack Nicholsoning.
Hey, you want to hear my Jack Nicholson impersonation?
I do.
Hi, I'm Jack Nicholson.
It's really good.
Wow, and I'm Al. How's it going, Jack?
It's
That's
pretty
terrifying.
fucking fantastic.
My favorite movie Al Pacino's been is Devil's Advocate.
Oh,
It's
it's
a
a
great
fantastic
movie.
film.
Meg Ryan, right?
I don't think so.
Who's the blonde chick in it?
I don't know her name, but I know her. Well, yeah. Anyway,
She's a blonde chick. Shows her tits.
Keanu Reeves is really good in it.
Keanu Reeves
He
is
shows
great.
his tits too.
Yeah, man. It's a great movie. Anyway, let's end this fucking podcast.
Yeah.
So,
any final thoughts?
What's it called?
This is Lotsa pasta.
Sign us
And
off.
if you're vegetarian,
Vegetarian?
and if you're vegetarian,
Vegetarian?
Vegan.
if you're whoa, I've
Whoa,
gone
I didn't
5
go that
seconds
far.
and I've already said that I'm vegan. Let me bring it back.
What the fuck? What the
You're
fuck?
vegetarian. What the fuck? Pasta. And Ben's drowning. Do 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 do. Ben's drowning. Do 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 do. Ben's drowning. Do 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 do. And he's a she and assume my gender.
Can you say frowns? Frowns. One last time. Can you say your calling card for us?
What's this calling card?
What the fuck?
No, asshole. You have to say the word anus in just in the frowns McBoob way you do.
Wait. I have a great recording.
Oh. You got me on the spot?
Let me see.
Oh.
Let me see if I can
Oh
find it.
shit. I know what's coming, folks. You're in for a treat.
Let me see if I can find it.
Alright,
Here it
well.
comes. Now I know you boys know I ain't be doing no road trip without no lactic acid starter culture. Ain't that right? Yeah,
And
my anus.
that's all she wrote. Anus. Bye.
Eat my anus.
What the